O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla. Not 24,000, 20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll, baby. You know what time it is. It is time for the Big O Radio Show, live from Hialeah Park. Yes, sir. I hope you all are doing well. We are doing great. We're having a good time out here at Hialeah Park. And by the way, today I'm inspired by one of our listeners, actually, because I forgot which one it was that was always asking me about 21 Pilots and went to the concert now. Forgot which one of you. Today I was going through my concert shirts. You know that this is from the 2018 tour. This is the first time I wear this shirt. The first time. It's been in my closet for like 6 years. Now, I was a double XL in those days. And so I loved this shirt when I went to the concert. And I said, I'm not going to buy it in double XL. I'm going to buy it in XL because I'll be able to fit in it I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to lose the weight. And so I did that for like, I don't know, like 100 and some concerts or something. I don't know, 200. So, and a bunch of, I have a whole bunch of extra larges that I never got to wear. And so now, you know, we're dancing in extra large. So we're good, you know. So I was able to wear, and it's such a killer shirt that I never really got to wear it. And so the listener that's been asking me about 21 Pilots and then went to the concert, and it was fantastic because they are fantastic. I said, hey, man, I'm going to sport my 21 Pilots today. So you, sir, inspired today what I was going to wear, which is a beautiful thing. What else do we have here? Let me, I am also posting on social media at the same time, so people know that we're on in different places because they're kind of lazy. By the way, I was watching the chat board at the beginning, and I could tell you hardcore people that are awesome, and I love you so much. You right away, you sign on and you hit the first 15 people, there were 14 likes, and then there were like 30 and the 15 likes were still there. So, and then it just kind of like, you know, now it's 88 and there's only 98 and there's only 37. So, you know, it's interesting. I see how some of you hardcore, you get it. You sign on and hit that like button, bro. It helps us big time, man. It gets the algorithms going out there. More people find out. So if you can, please hit the like button. It is very, very, very important that you hit that like button. Anyway, we got some stuff to talk about. Congratulations. Sean, let's start off with a victory cigar for Inter Miami as they win the Supporter Shield with a 3-2 win in a hell of a dramatic filled victory. 3-2 win on the road in Columbus against one of the best football clubs in the country. Inter goes into their house, wins the game 3-2, wins the Supporter Shield, best record in the MLS. No one can take that away from us. Victory cigar. Gotta love it, bro. Gotta love it, man. Little victory cigar right there. That's a beautiful thing, man. Congratulations. That was fun, man. And you know, the sad part is that the buzz is not around the town at all because it's just a messy fan base right now. People like me and Sean are, you know, in the Southern Legion and what is it? Southern Legion, the Siege, and the Vice City, 1897 or 1996 or something, 1890, something like that. Vice City and those folks. And by the way, they were at the stadium watching the game. All the supporter groups. Apparently, they said there was 5 of them, 5 supporter groups. I only know 3. Did some new ones pop up now? Messy groups, yeah, fair-weathered groups, right. They're not Southern Legion. They're not Vice City, okay? They're not the Siege. They're fair-weathered, messy people probably or whatever. Those people are the real – they're like me. They follow Miami FC and the Fusion and Inter and, you know, they're like real hometown strikers. They're really real hometown. Those groups there are the real soccer fans. And then some of us that really follow it. But that's the sad part, man, that there's not enough of you to really appreciate what has been done. You know, you think about this. The wheels got everything going crazy in this place. And by the way, prediction by Steve last week. And sure enough, because you win on the tables, you go and spin the wheel and all that kind of stuff. So it's exciting now. So there's more stuff to win. Anyway, so you know, there's a lesson to be learned with that championship. You know what lesson it is to be learned, Dolphin fans? Well, Jorge Mas and company could not have screwed the pooch anymore when they started this. They hired the wrong general manager. They hired the coach before they hired the coach after they were already building the team. They ended up with 5 international spots when you were only legally supposed to have 3. They suffered all kinds of financial setbacks, which, by the way, this is the last year of them. Okay? They're in the middle of trying to win a cup in the middle of the last year of the financial issues. Anyway, and they said, oh, well, we got to fix this. And they went and got the right general manager and the right head coach and made the right decisions. And, oh, my God, look where they're at now. And our Dolphins have been trying to make the right decisions for decades now and can't get it right. So I get it. A lot of you don't follow Inter, so you have no idea what's gone on. You really don't know the ins and outs. But they attacked a problem and corrected it like immediately. That's impressive as hell, dude. And let me tell you another thing that we learned about Inter compared to the Dolphins. So what was Tata showing us without Messi? Was he showing us much coaching? No, he wasn't early on. Without Messi.
Oh, early on. No, I thought you meant this current
No,
stretch.
right.
I'm sorry. Yes. No, he was not.
And where were we with McDaniel last year? We were already ripping his ass for all the stupid ass things, and we said, okay, we need to find out if he can correct them, right? Did he? No. Did they?
Yes.
I'm just saying, dude. You know, we look at Mario Cristobal, his first 2 years. It looked disastrous at times on the sidelines. And we said, hey, you need to correct this. It looks like he's correcting it, isn't it? And so we're watching, it can be done. It's just the Dolphins aren't doing it. So the lesson learned from watching Inter Miami yesterday, most of you have no idea. But those of us that actually follow all the sports, we can look at it and say, well, hey, they know how to fix it. The coach he couldn't win a game without Messi, dude. It was embarrassing. He was looking like Doug Peterson. That Doug Peterson won a title in Philadelphia, but maybe he really wasn't that good a coach because, look, in Jacksonville, he's not doing shit. And so Tata won a title in Atlanta, but you're wondering, well, wait a minute, dude. Just because they give you Messi, you can win? A lot of people could win with Messi. Show me something without Messi. He wasn't showing us jack shit. From last year into early this year, he wasn't showing us anything. And then all of a sudden, Messi and Suarez and Rojas leave for the World Cup, was it? No, yeah, it was the World Cup. It wasn't the Olympics. It was the World Cup. No, it was the Olympics. It was the Olympics, right? Whatever. Anyways, I'm confused now. Anyway, so no, it was the World Cup. Yeah, that's what he needed for Argentina. Well, anyways, so they go for international play and they're gone. And all of a sudden they play their asses off. Without Messi, they go 8-1. And so Tata figured out his players and, won. Oh, Copa America, that's right. And won. Come on, dude. He figured out his problems with his team without Messi and showed us some coaching, dude. McDaniel hasn't done that. Dolphins have not been able to figure out all their decisions, and they keep ending up in the same rut. And to Inter's credit, you couldn't start out worse than what Inter did, dude. You couldn't pick the worst players possibly to be your international slots. I mean, they picked defensive players to be some of your, like the Frenchman that they brought in. Like, what, huh? Matuidi. Like, what the hell are you doing? Stupid shit like that. And they were committed to these salaries. And then they had to get out of it, and they had to turn it around. And the quickness that they turned it around with is impressive, man.
And it's a lesson that must be learned. And it shows you what the Heat are as an organization, what the Panthers are now as an organization, what Inter Miami is as an organization. And unfortunately, the Dolphins try, but they can't get to the level of what Viola and Sifu have done, and now what the Moss brothers have done, right? Because the Moss brothers are on the brink of now going into the playoffs, and if they win the MLS Cup, that's impressive, dude. So there are lessons to be learned, and there are things to view there and appreciate. Appreciate the hell out of what the Moss family has done, because they could not have been bigger screw-ups to start this thing. And it's all right, because we're all human beings. And when you start off a new business, you're entitled to screw-ups, because that's what's going to happen more often than not. Some people are great at it right from the beginning. They've never done it, and it went well for them, and God bless you. But most of us that start new businesses and new ventures, we make all kinds of mistakes. The question is, do you learn, and then do you build off those mistakes? And man, did they have they ever done that? Have they ever done that? So I say congratulations. I tip my hat to the Inter Miami entire family. Okay. They have some stuff to work on, because as you can see, there's no buzz for them. And that's their fault too, because their media relations sucks. They don't really share. Their players aren't all over the place. Dude, I get it. Messi doesn't talk, but you should have the other guys all over the place. And you should be selling the product, but you don't, because you act like a bunch of fucking snobs. And you think that everybody has to bow to you and all that shit. And so if you want it that way, it'll take forever or whatever. And then when Messi leaves, there won't be any interest in your team, because you don't do a good job of selling your team to the media and to the fans. But hey, listen, if you want to act like, South American and European snobs in soccer, like normal soccer snobs are, then you go ahead and stick the soccer ball right up your ass. There's some things I'm going to praise, and then there's some things I'm going to wake your ass up on, So, that would be my message to Inter Miami. But again, if you don't give a shit, you don't give a shit, And then that way, on a night when Messi is back, you won't have a third of your stadium empty, because you only have Messi fans. You don't have Inter fans. But, as I can praise you as a franchise for accomplishing on the field, off the pitch, you're a disaster still. Why? Because you refuse to sell your franchise to people. You refuse to share your players, share your story, be out there, do better. I should know, because we were the supposedly, station for the team, and they wouldn't even give us players. It'd be a struggle to get one player in a week, and they'd give us like somebody at the bottom of the end of the roster. And it got to a point where, like, yeah, bro, I don't need your player. It's all right. It just like, and that was for us. We were supposed to be their radio station that they're paying for. They didn't even put us in the stadium, and they're a disaster. Okay? It's great that they know what to do on the pitch. But, back then I told them then also that they're a disaster in the media, and they continue to be a disaster in the media. Hey, listen, man, I don't care. I don't need it to survive or anything like that. I don't need to kiss anyone's ass to survive. That's the beauty of what I do. You can kiss my ass, but I'm not going to kiss your ass. That's for sure. You can bet your ass on that one. I ain't kissing your ass. I don't work for you. I don't work for any team. I don't worry about that kind of shit. So I can say what I want, and I tell you the truth. So Inter Miami, fabulous job on the field. Off the pitch, you're still an absolute disaster. And you still haven't accomplished what you need to accomplish. But hey, just keep winning, and maybe eventually you'll build it that way. And you'll have the fan base, but it'll be kind of a disconnected fan base. But hey, do your thing. Do your thing, man. But congratulations on that because I'm loving that. And hopefully you could get the MLS Cup. But if you want to avoid some of the other issues now, those are it right there. Big, how many concert shirts would you say you have in your closet? Oh, God. I don't know, bro. 500? Something like that, I would say. Easy. Yeah, easy 500. Yeah, closets, by the way. It doesn't fit in a closet. I would love for it to fit in a closet, but we have closets. I have more closets than my wife. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's how it goes. My daughter's toy room. She has her bedroom and she has a toy room, right? That toy room obviously is gone. She's, and it's like so I put a rack all the way from one end to another, and it's all concert shirts. So it's like a storage room now. So it was the fourth bedroom. It was our bedroom, my studio, her bedroom, and then the toy room. We had a toy room for it because it was a 4-bedroom house. So we used that as a toy room, and now it's like a storage room. And so now I put a rack on one end of it, and it's got all concert shirts. So it's a room that from one end to the other is just a rack of concert shirts. And that easily has over 200 shirts. Easily. So, yeah, I've got to be somewhere in the 500 range if I wanted to. I could easily wear a different shirt every day of the year, and you wouldn't see the same shirt twice. You know what I mean? That's not to say that I wouldn't wear the same shirt twice, because I have many times, but I'm just saying that if I wanted to, I could easily, I think I could go almost 2 years wearing a different concert shirt. Yeah, that's probably the case. Something like that. I'll be buried in a concert shirt. I told my wife that. I said, listen, if I go first, got to bury me in a concert shirt. It's the way it goes. So I'm not going to have on no shirt or tie. So if you walk up to the coffin, maybe she'll put a jacket, but there'll be a concert shirt under it. I don't know, but it'll be a concert shirt. I can guarantee you it'll be a concert shirt. There's no doubt about that. So that's how I live. This is who I am. It's my wardrobe. That's all I wear. Concert shirts. That's it. And you'll probably once in a while I'll wear a dress shirt if I have to wear a dress shirt. But if not, I'll be happy in a concert shirt, man. Just satisfied in a concert shirt, And then I have some nice ones too, like this 21 Pilots one, which I think is an exceptional concert shirt. All right, what do we have here on the chat board, Brooklyn? Rob, Mr. Suey is in the house. Jamie Zoria out in San Jose. He says, I hope everyone's doing well in this downpour of injuries of a season. Smash the like button. I know you did, Jamie. Thank you. Oscar Rojas is in. He says, victory cigar. Yes, definitely. We gave him a victory cigar. Got to give Inter a victory cigar. A-Rod in. Based on the way they've played, undisciplined, has the team checked out on McDaniel? No. They're just unorganized. They haven't checked out yet. That's coming soon. Tua Time is in the house. Giovanni checking in from Western Carolina. Hang in there, brother. Man, Western Carolina, it's like a war zone out there, dude. Jesus Christ. I feel terrible for everyone in Western Carolina. And, we're not ready for any of this, man. No country is ready for your entire state to be just turned over upside down and all that kind of. I just can't imagine it, man. It's nuts to see what happened. And then there's, damage in South Carolina. There's damage in Georgia. There's damage in Tennessee. I mean, it's like 6 different states that suffered all kinds of damage. Cosa Nostra, think Blue Dodgers, John Padilla, Ray Sosa. Ragin is in the house. Was just talking to Ragin now in the text. George Fernandez, cynical charlatan. Big O gets the dislike button for gaslighting fans by pretending he's good friends. Chris Greer is as good at his job and not a complete failure. It's fine. Whatever, bro. I'm great friends with Chris Greer, Marvin Allen, Reggie McKenzie, Tom Garfinkel, Stephen Ross. I'm great friends with all of them, bro. Let's see. Magnus is in the house. George Fernandez. Chris Johnson. Gus. AZ Fanatic. We are screwed as long as Greer is drafting players. Sweet Baby Ray. Dolphin season going from Super Bowl to toilet bowl. Sucks to be sucky for so long. Viper Space Flight is in. Brian Landis. Shelby Jordan. Peter should have made Tua play on his fifth-year option, and we would not be in this position we are now. We have to pay him at least another year. And, oh, by the way, Greer and McDaniels will be out soon. They're not going to fire anybody. They're all going to come back for next year. I know how this goes. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. And again, I still think the talent would be good enough to be 3-1, and we would not be complaining if we had a real coach. But I get it. It's up to the front office to get the coach, and they did not get the right coach because that guy is not the right coach. Ray Sosa says, I also went to the 21 Pilots in Sunrise back in 2018. What a show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was a great show. George says, I blame ownership at the end of the day to allow things to go on. Never been a Ross fan from a football perspective. I get that. Chris Johnson says, good job, being thinner means you will live longer and have more energy. I don't know about the energy side. Getting older, bro, you lose the energy. And I hope I live longer. You know what I mean? When your time is your time, baby. You know? I've seen people go skinny and overweight, and I've seen the guy that lasts 100 years and he's still smoking cigarettes. You just never know, man. You just never know. But I'm going to do my best to at least try to keep my weight off and stay as skinny as possible, and try to get skinnier. Actually, try to get skinnier. Today I went and had Chick-fil-A. Right now, I didn't get the grilled one. I got the fried one. But you know how I ordered it? I ordered it with lettuce and tomatoes and no bread. So I know they cook it in peanut oil, so that's not bad, but there's a little breading, okay? And it's fried, but then I'm eating it, and it's just like a little paper that they give it to you in, and then it has the chicken, the lettuce, and the tomatoes. That's it, and I those 2 pieces of bread. So, little things like that. Steal a page out of what Pat Riley says, that as you get older, what you do is you eat less of your meal. Instead of, you whatever plate you used to eat, well, then eat 70% of that. Eat 60% of that instead. Don't eat nearly as much. You know what I'm saying? And those are the other things that I try to do, along the way. Besides, obviously, gobble a lot of water to filter, your body. That's it. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I've been so bad at it for so many years. And any of you all that have the same kind of weight issues, it's not easy, man. It's losing the weight is one thing. It's keeping it off. That's where I fail. I've lost the weight several times, but I never keep it off. That's my problem. And then now that I've lost it, I've gotten to this stage. I'm trying to see if I can stay at this stage for a while before I really go crazy and try to lose like another 20 pounds. And so far, I've been able to stay at it for several months, which is pretty cool. And the fact that I can, as long as I can still fit in my extra larges and my buckle, if I want to go all the way to the last buckle, I can do it. And that's cool. As long as I'm good with that, and I know I'm keeping my weight off, I'm all right. But man, it's a brutal challenge every single day, Shelby Jordan is in. Thank you, Shelby, for hitting the like button. Very important to hit that like button. Skylar Timpton is in the house. Brian Landis. Stone Temple Pilots for me, but I'm a spry 48-year-old geezer. I love Stone Temple Pilots. I'm with you. But I like 21 Pilots too. I'm good. I love them both. I'm as long as I can switch with some of the times, and I like some of the new artists, but they have to be artists. They have to be like real musicians. It has to be real talent, and then I will, give it a chance. If I don't think there's a lot of talent behind it, I give it nothing, pretty much. Was watching some Miami Vice last night, says Viper. Nice. Joseph Fontina. Ross should sell 100% of the team. Yeah, that's not going to happen. He's just selling a portion to make some money up because it's such a big piece of property now. It's not just the team. There's all kinds of other things that are tied to it. So, yeah. Mr. Spock, poorly constructed, no backup QB, no running back, no right guard, right tackle, and left guard. I think all those would be playing better if you had a better coach. You know what I mean? The backup QB situation, that they deserve criticism there, but I got to imagine that they tried. I don't know what the hell happened, but I don't know. Really? Do you think that they went with Skylar and White? I got to think they tried something, but who knows? Greer and McDaniel both responsible for this product. Mr. Spock, I can't argue. I'd love to defend them, and I can't. Let's see what else. Bernie says they also got Messi and company. Well, that's what you do whatever it takes to win, right? That's what they're doing. I say I give it at least 5 years of success post-Messi before it becomes less or a brand and you get actual Inter fans bought into it. I hope so, Ray. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see because it's a shame that not enough people are really appreciating what's going on, dude. We've only had our franchise for a couple of years and we just won the Supporter Shield. That's pretty awesome. And by the way, now they get to rest for these next 2 games. You don't have to play anybody. Now you can play everybody in the back, all the backups, and you can play all the kids from your minor league team if you want to. Oh, yeah, Campana gets to – actually, you know what? I don't want to play him. Injury history, Campana. I may want to keep him out also.
Maybe just get him a few minutes in each time. Yeah,
first
half. Like a half or something. And then,
a half, just to keep him
and then you're still holding your breath.
Yeah. But Messi isn't touching the pitch until the playoffs.
Yeah.
Suarez ain't touching the pitch.
Practice and
Campana, I'm sorry, Busquets isn't touching the pitch. Alba isn't touching the pitch. None of those guys would be touching the pitch. I'm with you. Osvaldo Gutierrez, thank you, sir. And Bernie Torres, thank you for helping us out. And Joseph Fontina, I appreciate you earlier. Thank you. Willie is out in Colombia. Jerry says Greer barely hit on his draft picks, then a few he does hit, and then lets him go. True Fin fan, I'm not going to lie. I'm happy to hear a Miami team is doing well, but I just can't push myself to watch soccer. Believe me, I've tried. It's all right. You just got to learn to appreciate it before you can actually watch it. So there you go. And by the way, one of my closets, I made 2 rows for the shirts, because obviously then I would have multiple closets, like lots of closets, and I can't do that because the girls need their own closets. So yeah, one of the closets I made 2 rows, so I lowered it the original level, and then I put one above it. Yep. Let's see. John says, born and raised in SoCal. We had 3 NFL teams here group, but I chose the Dolphins because of Marino and company. I'm 55 now. I don't think I will ever see this team get a ring anytime soon. It's looking bad for us, man. I can't lie to you all out there. I would love to tell you that it's right there. Big O, which concert shirt will you be buried with? It'll be probably a U2. Probably U2. Yeah, it'll be a U2 one. I don't know which one, but it'll be one. Probably U2. Yeah. Beer Noob, thank you for the love on the super chat. Remember, folks, you can always make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can use our QR code so you can make also a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we love that. We love the super chats, but YouTube takes 30%. So we tell you Cash App or Venmo. You can use the QR codes or Cash Big O Show, and you can make a donation there. Beer Noob says, if we get a top 5 pick, do they take a QB? I would imagine so, dude. I mean, as long as if you end up with a number 5, and the QB that falls to 5 is worthy of it, yes, you have to. Into a situation now, you have to take a QB now. You have no choice now. Tua has given you no choice now. Tua can no longer be trusted. I'm sorry. I love the kid. I believe in him as a player, but I don't trust him anymore. He refuses to take care of himself. He refuses to understand who he is. And that, my friends, is a real problem. If you don't know your limitations, you are going to get hurt in life. Whether it's fiscally, mentally, socially, athletically, it does not matter. You must know your limitations. You will have them in anything in life. You got to know what they are and then stay behind it so you can stay in the safe zone. But if you start playing outside of it, then you are going to put yourself at risk. Okay? You start ringing up credit cards all over the place and you don't make nearly as much money, what's going to happen? Right? It's kind of the way it goes. So in life, you must know what your limitations are. I only make this kind of money. This is what I should spend. I can't overspend because then I get burned. I can't play this way because I will get burned. I can't play the market this way. I can't play football this way. Whatever it is, I can't gamble this way. Right? Okay? I've got a 17. The dealer's showing a 6. I got to stay. I get it. He might have a 5 under and then a 10 and I'm screwed. But he's showing me 16 right now. I got to stay and I got to wait for him to bust. Because I got to assume there's a 10 under and then another 10 is coming. Because those are the chances. Those are the things. You, in life, you got to know what your limitations are. And at that moment, that should be your limitation. That's the intelligent play. Don't ask for a card at 17. He's got 16. Let him bust. He's got a 15. He's got a 14. Let him bust. Know your limitations. And Tua doesn't know his limitations. And he can't be trusted. He refuses to learn. And no matter how much pain he suffers, he refuses to learn. Usually the painful part is where we learn, right? Don't we? Isn't that really the part that we learn from? The painful part? Oh, that's true. He does have titanium everywhere. That's a good point. It's a good point. A-Rod says, has the team turned on McDaniel? Not yet. Not yet. But that'll happen. Let's see. Big O, we're talking about 3 fellow Columbus graduates in the Moss brothers and Mario Cristobal, and that's why they turned it around. Well, hey, man, whatever it is, they're getting it done. That's all that matters. Gus1388, thank you for the love in the super chat. Mr. Spock is making some logical statements. Oh, I don't know what Mr. Spock is doing. Ocala Joe, afternoon, Owen Sean. I was wondering if there was a 26-point play that McDork was looking for at the end of the game the other night. Maybe he wrote a new rule that we don't know about. McDork is done, bro. That guy has no hope at this point. So, Big O, can we give Calendar the cut? Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you something. We love picking a MVP. And last night with Inter Miami, there's a lot of MVPs, bro. There's a lot of MVPs. Henderson at general manager. I could count him as a Cutter's Edge Pro MVP. The Moss brothers, the ultimate MVPs. They bought the team. They built the stadium. They're building another stadium. They brought Messi. They brought all kinds of – that's MVP right there. Obviously, Lionel Messi with 2 goals last night. That first goal with the little tap right at the end, that shit was awesome, where he redirected the ball. That was just sweet. And obviously the free kick was just outstanding. Suarez has been an absolute stud all year long. But I think you mentioned who we have to go with as our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
Calendar, man. Drake Calendar has to get our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night. The goalie was just absolutely amazing. He was put in a penalty kick situation twice. And I don't know if he leads the league in blocked penalty kicks, but he has come up several times this season. And last night, facing the same guy, and the same guy went to the same side, the right side. And you, as a goalie, you must anticipate. You got to jump before the kick. And you got to hope you pick the right side that he kicks. Because if you wait for him to commit completely, you'll never, ever get to one side or the other once you see the kick coming. It's impossible. So you've got to dive at the same time as he's kicking, and you've got to anticipate what side he's going, and you've got to read him. And Drake Calendar has done a massive job of that the entire season. And I know that Messi and Suarez can easily be voted, the most important players on your team, but Drake Calendar is just as important as those guys. And there is no way you are the best team in the league, I say, with even another goalie, because I don't think another goalie plays the way this guy has played this year. I mean, to have the kind of good fortunes to go find another goalie at this level in those moments, Drake Calendar did it again last night against Columbus in the biggest game of the year, because this is the game that you send the message to Columbus, you're not better than we are, and we own this. This is our league and our year. And to make that save last night, that's why William Quigley is the MVP of South Florida when it comes to landscaping, and they do it all for your full landscape design. They can design, they can create one for you. They work with your pool contractors, your building contractors, your architects. They can do it all: outdoor lighting, irrigation, artificial grass. And we do that with our dogs. Oh, the artificial grass is the best thing out there. Go check it out, folks. And reach out to our friends at Cutter's Edge Pro, 954-472-0622. That's 954-472-0622. Landscape design, outdoor lighting, tree trimming and removals, irrigation, synthetic turf. They do it all. Cutter's Edge Pro and Drake Calendar, our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com. Providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
All right. Where's Bitcoin at right now? We are hovering just under $61,000. It's at 60,871. Let me see, because I don't see it refreshing when I pulled it up. And sometimes what happens in here, my reception is not as good. So let me go to this, because it might not have refreshed yet. Because it was headed upward. And so the last time I checked, it was headed upward. So it might be over 61. Here we go. Now I get to refresh it. No, it's accurate. 60,872. All right. right. We are right there. All right. I like it. Nice buying zone overall. Can you send Alex Winley a link for the top of the hour, please? I forgot to send it to her. I forgot that. All right. Let's do this, folks. Bitcoin's at 60,000. And, we love talking crypto on this show. And as you know, I am not a financial advisor. But let's do this. Let's get into our Crypto Bro show for a moment. And let's talk about what's the latest going on in the market, because I've got some people that are panicking. I got some panic calls this morning and some panic people out there. And maybe some of you are panicking. I'm going to tell you why there is no reason to panic. Let's fire away the Crypto Bro show.
The Crypto Bro Show is solely for entertainment purposes. Orlando Alzagari and his guests are not financial advisors or investments consultants. If you ever plan to invest, make sure you do your homework, talk to a professional, and understand investing is very risky and volatile. Good luck in any of your investments, and only invest what you're willing to lose.
Time to log into the blockchain and find out what's the latest in Bitcoin and crypto in our Crypto Bro Show.
Crypto Bro. This segment brought to you by RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. Take your home or business to the next level with RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. Call Ray or Mike at 305-345-3649. You dream it, they'll build it. See their fantastic work on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island. Crypto Bros. Here's the Crypto Bro himself, Orlando Alzugari.
All right. Now, first of all, while we're hovering around 61, remember, folks, we're just a little over 10,000, 12,000 away from the all-time high. We have been in the 63, 65, 67, 70, 71. We have been flirting with this entire window since they hit 73.3, the peak. We've been flirting. And they went all the way down to 49, by the way. But you've been strongly flirting from 60 to 71 pretty much the entire time. Okay? So think about this. The former all-time highs were 67,000. 67.7, I believe it was. And you're 6,000 away from that. 7,000 away from that, I'm sorry. Okay? You've been consolidating for just over 6 months in this area, which is an amazing buying zone, okay? And when it hits 110 and 140 and 180 and 250, and it will, are you going to worry if you bought it at 61 or 66 or 56? It's not going to matter. And when it gets to 500,000, does it really matter if you bought it at 65 or at 60 or at 55? Okay. Yeah. Somebody might be making a couple of bucks more than somebody else, but overall, everybody's making really good money. Okay. 92% of the people that are in Bitcoin are already in profit. Yours truly also is one of them. Why? Because we bought from early on. So it doesn't matter where you buy, you're going to be in profit if you hang on. Okay. Now one of the reasons why we had to dip from 65 to 60. Yes, of course. The war, possibly in the Middle East, with Iran attacking Israel, and Israel now could be attacking Iran and their oil refineries and all that. And so oil's going up. Yes, the docks strikes. Yes, of course. But it's also panic. And the short-term holders, which are people that have owned Bitcoin for less than 155 days. I have a friend of mine that I tried to educate him. I tried to orange pill him, right? And he bought some. And he got it a little cheaper. When it got to 65 recently, he sold out the profits. Okay? And that's cool. And that's fine. He didn't believe in it. And that's fine. That's all right. But the people that are selling, he's the one. He's the one that owned for about 155 days. People that have owned for 6 months. Those are people that usually never really read the white paper, never really took the time to understand Bitcoin, understand crypto, understand the blockchain, understand where our money is going, what the Federal Reserve is doing, how Democrats and Republicans are printing like it's going out of style and devaluing our money. Okay, if you look at it objectively instead of being freaking cheerleaders like so many of you are for red or blue, which is incredibly pathetic and embarrassing on your part, by the way, you people that treat Republicans or Democrats like you're a fucking cheerleader. Really, you people are embarrassing. I got to tell you, you're embarrassing. Seriously, you're pathetic, you're embarrassing, and you need a life. And you need to get educated because if you're stuck on one side, you're dumb. Okay, basically, I know all of this. When I include all of this, and since I've gotten into Bitcoin, I know it includes politics. I know it ends up pissing off people and turning them off, and I know it hurts me, and people stop viewing and all that. I don't care, dude. I really don't care. So if you're a pissed off Democrat or Republican, both of you can kiss my ass. It's really simple. I'm about Americans and I'm about Bitcoin. I ain't about Democrats or Republicans. So anyway, I get it, but 3 billion of Bitcoin has been nearly sold in the last week and a half from short-term holders. Long-term holders, do you know what they're doing? They're buying up all that Bitcoin that's being sold. Yours truly. I bought some more this morning. You're going to be in the 60,000 range. You want to flirt with 59, 61. I'm going to buy. I'm going to keep buying. I will never see these numbers again. I am not a financial advisor, like the segment said at the beginning, but I'm telling you, you will never see the 50s and the 60s. I don't even think you'll ever see the 70s again. Once we take off and go to 6 digits, you'll never see these numbers ever again for Bitcoin. Institutional money is setting in. They're the foundational money. They're not going to move. You will sell. I will sell. Sean will sell. Retail sells. Institutions, they hang on to their Amazon stock and their Apple stock and their Microsoft stock, and they pass it on to their loved ones and so on and so forth. And that's what happens. And that's what's going to happen with this. Because this is the greatest piece of real estate that exists on the planet. You can move this real estate everywhere you go, right in your mind. You can't move it if you're stuck in South Florida and it's hurricane after hurricane. You got to live there. Look at the people in North Carolina or South Carolina. Look at the people in New York. You're going to have to deal whatever. When you own a piece of property, you got to pay taxes. You got to pay upkeep. You got to pay all kinds of stuff. So you're putting more money into everything that you do. This only you put it in once and all it does is grow. It is the greatest piece of property on Mother Earth right now. And you can enjoy this property in Paris, in Miami, in California, in everywhere you're at in the world. And it's only going to grow. Okay? I'm just telling you, you need to go look at what the hell's going on. So for those of you that are panicking, do not panic. Stay strong. That's what I'm doing. Keep building your future. Keep building for your family's future. Stay strong. Okay? Now, Brazil's largest crypto exchange, Mercado, has partnered with Ripple to now offer cross-border payments. This is going to start happening. Banks and others are going to get involved. We're going to start getting regulation in the European countries and South American and Central American countries. They're going to start getting regulations way ahead of us because, unfortunately, the Democrats on this side have done everything in their power to screw everybody on this. I can't blame Republicans this time around. I have to blame who I blame properly. Whether it's a Republican or a Democrat on this end, I'm blaming the Democrats. They have screwed Americans over big time, and they continue with Gary Gensler and all the shit that they're doing. And meanwhile, other countries are moving way ahead of us on this, which is ridiculous. El Salvador just announced that they are building an entire market, business market on their blockchain on Bitcoin. Google's got an office now in El Salvador. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyway, Visa has now launched its tokenized asset platform to issue and manage digital assets. Visa's already involved in crypto as it is. Okay. Franklin Templeton, which manages trillions, has submitted a proposal to the SEC to list and trade Bitcoin and Ethereum crypto on their index ETF. So now when USB and Franklin Templeton and all these other wirehouses get into it, this is trillions and trillions that they manage, but they're waiting for regulations. And once the regulations are in, then everybody wants to get in, but they need the regulations. But unfortunately, one side of our government has been very, very, very dirty in this process, stopping us. Stocks now. This is how screwed up our everything that's going on right now. Stocks are rising like we've avoided a recession. Stock market's at a all-time high. Gold prices are rising like we're headed into a recession. They're buying gold everywhere, countries, everybody, because everybody knows their fiat currency. It doesn't matter if you're in Brazil, in London, in France, in the United States, in Canada, everybody's money is going to crap. Okay, so they're all loading up on gold too. Oil prices are rising like it's World War III because of what's going on, because possibly Israel's going to attack Iran. Bond prices are falling like geopolitical tensions are easing, which not really true. And then crypto is falling like risk appetite has disappeared. Okay, and tech stocks are rising like risk appetite is at all-time highs. And it should be, because that's where we're headed. And those are the smart people that are investing in tech. Because tech took a big hit in the last year. Now it's rebounding. So remember, the election's in 33 days. It's going to get a lot better. It's everything pumps leading into the election, and everything explodes. No matter who goes into office, by the way. Doesn't matter who wins, it's going to explode. Feds are cutting rates by another 0.5% in November. China and the rest of the world are cutting rates right now. And FTX is now starting to dish out $16 billion in cash repayments. And a lot of those people are going to go right back into Bitcoin and others. So you're going to have an injection of, I don't know how many billions of that 16, but several billion of that is going to go right back into crypto. Standard Charter right now has come out and said, if Bitcoin is under 60, it's a massive buy. 6 months ago, a year ago, you would never get an institution like Standard Charter to say something like that publicly. Now they're talking about it publicly because they have to talk to their own investors. They cannot allow their investors to pass up the best asset in the world to add to their portfolios, because if they tell them and it increases their portfolios, they look like geniuses. But if they don't tell them about it and it blows up and it's not in their portfolios, guess what they're doing? It's like that commercial that guy's pissed off with Schwab all the time. That's what's going to happen. They're going to dump your ass. And so they all know it. Whether it's Franklin Templeton, whether it's Standard Charter, whether it's USB, they all know where they have to go. Some of you don't. If you had $1 million a year ago, Sean, how much less could you buy right now? Because I know you can't buy more if you had $1 million a year ago. How much can you buy? If you had $1 million, do you know how much $1 million is a year later? Anybody know? Anybody? $660,000. You lost 34% of your buying power in 1 year if you had $1 million. If you had Bitcoin, $1 million in Bitcoin a year ago, you have $2.2 million right now because it's up 120% over the last year. Are you listening to me? If you had $1 million, you would have $660,000 of buying power a year later. If you had $1 million in Bitcoin, you'd have 2.2 million. Bitcoin's up 120%, even with this dip of the last 6 months. Even with the dip of the last 6 months, Bitcoin is up 120% in the last calendar year, my friends. That's why I tell you, these people holding for 155 days, they held for the worst 155 days. What they should have done is continue to buy and lower your number and then wait for it to blow up because it's coming. There's a finite amount. You had $1 million, you would have $660,000 of buying power a year later. Think about that shit. That's the kind of stuff that, you know. Swift, can you bring up the chart, please? Swift has released an article how their global network will allow transfers of digital assets and currencies to move within their existing network. In other words, crypto transactions are coming to Swift in 2025. There. And Swift is a payment that is used worldwide. Worldwide. Every bank uses it. And regulations are coming. All these banks want regulations. You know, the bill that Biden vetoed, and he shouldn't have, he vetoed it, and all the banks wanted it. I give the Democrat Ro Khanna, the senator from California, a ton of very few Democrats have come out pro Bitcoin. He's the only guy that came out and said, "Hey, we need a Bitcoin reserve." No, dude. Come on. And Swift now is preparing. This is coming. And I've been telling you about this for years now. Okay? For years. And then the other thing that I got there that I sent you, Sean, bring up that link and put a week on it. Okay? The DXY is the dollar. I want you guys to pay attention to what's been going on. I want you to pay attention well. Okay? When they had the rate cut, a lot of people thought maybe the dollar would go down, and it was on a downward movement, right? But unfortunately, the dollar now has, well, fortunately, because it's good that the dollar bounces back and it's strong, right? And put it for a week, because I want people to see when you put a whole week, because of what's happened in our dip where we were at 65, 66, messing around, and now went down to 60, 61. And I always tell you that the dollar and the DXY there's a correlation with it. Okay, when the dollar's strong, risk assets go down. When the dollar weakens, risk assets go up. So I want you to put, you see where exactly, right where the down slope is. See where my finger is right here? See over here? Look, right here. Put it right there. That's at the down slope right there. That's when we were at 65. And so the dollar was going down at that moment. And all of a sudden now the dollar got strength in the last couple of days. And then what's happened? We've had now a bit of a downslope in Bitcoin. So a lot of times you can just follow the DXY and you'll see what happens. And now if you go look at the world money supply, it is now triggering up. And every time the world money supply goes up, that means China's printing, Japan's printing, Europe is printing, the United States are printing. And when they print, boom, risk assets, gold, silver, Bitcoin, they explode. Okay? And usually when that happens, their dollars are weakening at that point. So you're going to see a swing now in this month where it's going to start weakening, and it'll weaken into November and December. And then you'll see risk assets explode just like Bitcoin. But you've got to have patience and you've got to wait. It's all automatic. The government is run on debt, and it's the only way they survive. And it doesn't matter who you vote in. Either way, they both will print $10 trillion, and it will ignite risk assets like Bitcoin. That is today's edition of the Crypto Bro Show. We appreciate it. Hour number 2 is next. Alex Winley will join us to talk a little Inter-Miami football. Let's talk about the best team in the MLS next.
The Crypto Bro Show is brought to you by RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. From complete makeovers for homes or condos to impact windows and doors to drywall with level 5 finish. Call Ray or Mike at RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. 305-345-3649. You dream it, they'll build it. See their exceptional work on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island. Crypto Bros. Follow Big O for more crypto insight on X or Twitter at Big O Show.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
I was just, I had my Crypto Bros segment just recently. This is the perfect person I can talk to because she's got millions. Alex Winley is loaded. I mean, she's got millions. Did you know, Alex, that, and you would know this because you have millions, if you owned $1 million a year ago, okay, it's $660,000 right now. I know you know that because you have plenty of money, and so I'm sure you've seen your riches go down a little bit, right? You felt that pain, haven't you?
Right. Yeah, economy's not great right now.
Even for the rich like Alex Winley. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. How you doing? How was that night last night? Was that fun or what? Huh? It was exciting. It was drama filled.
It was fun to cover. Yeah, it was fun to cover. It was fun to see the squad get their second trophy. They earned this one. Going down to without Messi for like 3 months and Tata Martino getting the best out of the team. They had to use the depth on that roster to get where they were. And yeah, every player played a part. Every player who played a single minute for Miami this season, yeah, they earned that trophy.
Yeah, and to me, this season becomes even sweeter because now I feel great as an Inter fan. This is just not a Messi team. This is a Chris Henderson built team that has young guys that are ready. When Messi and Suarez move on, we've watched them grow without those guys and play really well and beat the best teams in the league without Messi. And so to me, and even Tata at times, we were frustrated with Tata. Without Messi, it was a disaster early on. And then all of a sudden they went off for international play and really things came together. So to me, that's the exciting part for me as a real Inter fan, not a Messi fan, because I know that's the other thing that we have a problem with this fan base right now. It's really not an Inter fan base yet. It's really more of a Messi fan base. You know what I'm saying? But for me as a Inter fan, that's what I love, Alex, that I know there's going to be life after Messi now. You know what I'm saying? Because they got it, man. They got it. They definitely got it.
Yeah. And it showed during the summer when Messi was gone and Tata had to rely on, the non-Suarez and Messi players. Jordi Alba stepped up, Busquets, Julian Gressel had a big summer, Kremashki, the homegrowns, Matias Rojas, who was a really good third attacking option on the team. They did really well to step in for Messi and Suarez when they're gone for Copa America or if they were injured. And, it paid off in the end. That's why, they brought in Chris Henderson and Nicky Buttigieg and all these front office guys to construct a roster that could hold up over time. And And Tata even touched on that after the game. He spoke about the team's depth, and that's why they constructed the team the way they did. So yeah, and we saw the payoff last night. But all the players are excited about the Supporters Shield and happy that they won. But it's clear that all of them, the real goal is winning MLS Cup eventually.
Sure, for sure. But I love how you say they earned it, because they all earned it. It wasn't like they rode Messi's coattails. Everybody earned it, because we were all nervous when they all left for international play. We're like, oh shit, man. Hey, I'm glad that they built up a nice cushion, but this might be a rough month. And they proved that it was a glorious month, without him. And then he gets injured and they're still, rocking. And it's really a lot of fun. And how about calendar? I mean, it's so easy to talk about Messi and Suarez, but calendar is just as important. That save he made last night, that's the same save he's made several times this season.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people, mainly the Messi sector of the fandom that may not really be in tune with MLS or how the rosters are constructed, I think a lot of them, they saw, Busquets and Alba and Suarez come in, and they probably wanted a world-class keeper to come in to be at their level. But, Miami already had one in Drake Callender, and there's a reason why they brought him over all those years ago at the beginning of the team's existence. They bought out his rights from the San Jose Earthquakes, and they developed him. And, he sat behind a couple of keepers for a couple of years at Inter Miami. And in 2022, he finally got his chance to start, and now it's paid off. He has a new contract he signed a couple months ago, I believe, and he's the number one starter for the team. So, it's the second time he's come up huge for Miami. First, the Leagues Cup penalty shootout, and then the penalty last night that he was very confident in saving, and him and Messi put the team on their back regarding, just gaining 3 points and helping them clinch this Supporters Shield early, so the guys can get some rest before the playoffs start in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I would imagine, right? Nobody plays over the next 2 games.
No,
right?
Yeah, Toronto. I think it's going to be heavily rotated. Actually, in a couple hours, I'm talking to a Toronto FC beat writer, and yeah, they're gonna the fans up there. They're gonna not see Messi because he probably won't be playing in that game. I'm already telling you now.
Yeah, I mean, why would you play Messi, Suarez, Busquets, Alba? I wouldn't even play Campana. Sean and I we're talking about that, and we're going like, with his injury history, maybe I don't even want to risk it, or maybe we play him just a half or something, or half of a half or something, just to keep him, in shape. But I would let me ask you, because I don't know all the ins and outs here. How many of the minor leaguers can they call up and play on these 2 weeks? Because that's what I would do in those 2 games. I would empty out my bench, and whatever I could call up from my minors, I would call up from my minors. But I don't know those rules.
Yeah, there are rules that Miami just can't call up the entire Inter Miami CF2 squad. That's they can't do that, but they can call up guys in short-term loans. But that's mainly. Yeah, that's mainly due to like injuries to the first teamers and hardship rules. So I mean, I'm sure they can call up like for instance, a guy like Ryan Carmichael, who's a really good striker for Inter Miami CF2, and he's been playing well. And hopefully he can get a first team contract soon, because I think he's a good prospect. But yeah, maybe they can call up someone like him. But yeah, I do think Campana will get the start this Saturday. It'll be heavily rotated. Franco Negri and for Alba. Busquets is more of an Iron Man, so I don't see him not playing, especially with Redondo out due to suspension.
That's right. Right. Good call on your part. Yeah.
So it will be heavily rotated, but I think Busquets will continue to play. He's pretty physically, stamina-wise, pretty fit, so I expect him to play. I mean, not the full game, but Redondo will be out, and Bright will probably get a rest, and Matias Rojas, who just came back from injury, he hasn't been starting, but I foresee him starting this weekend. So yeah, it'll be a rotated side, and they're playing away, so no need to risk any other injuries besides that. And David Martinez will probably be back soon, probably for the New England game that will happen in about a week, 2 weeks. So Miami will have a full strength squad heading into the playoffs as soon as he's fully fit.
Only you, Alex, would give us the exact person from the Baby Herons you think would play. That's awesome. That was a nice
Yeah.
nugget that was a nice nugget on your part there. That whole concept, like, I look, as they're marvelous on the pitch and in the front office. They're not great in media. They're not great at selling their team. They do a very poor job, I think, overall. And I think they need to do a better job of selling the team to people and having their players out and doing more interviews and doing more things, because they have a messy issue, and it's great for the moment. You can milk it, but you kind of want to get other people on board. And when I'm on social media or just my phone, I'm going to get a lot more reaction from people that I know and friends and acquaintances and all that for Heat stuff or for Dolphin stuff or the Panthers. I get no buzz from the Inter part, and I just feel like our community is really still not connected to the team. What would you do if you're Inter Miami? How do you make it become more a part of the fabric of your community, instead of it being the novelty that is Messi?
Lucky for you, I'm back in school again, and I'm taking some marketing classes, so that's right up my alley right now. So yeah, first thing I would try to repair the relationship with the supporters groups, mainly supporters who have been there since the beginning. A lot of them have complaints about rising ticket prices and maybe not getting season ticket boxes at the end of the season, and they feel really left out and kind of pushed back in favor of some of the people, businesses or new fans that are coming in that weren't interested in the team maybe 4 years ago. They're basically pushing out the OGs who have been there, since the Diego Alonso days, and they were playing poor football and all that. So
No. Those are the people that are there with me for the strikers. Those are the people that are there with me for the fusion. Those are the people that are there with me for all our soccer. It's not just Inter Miami. We were all there way before they were there, way before the masses and way before everybody else. So I know who those people are, man, because I've been associated with them for a long time. The people from Southern Legion have been following Miami FC soccer. You know what I'm saying? And I know, because I was there watching it and talking to those people and all that. And I feel bad for Vice City and the Siege and all those kind of supporter groups. They do an awesome job.
Yeah, so I'd repair that relationship first, and then second, I'd have more, I don't know, incentive to have more inclusion in regarding the different supporters groups. For instance, I wouldn't say I'm a part of a supporters group, but I do follow this supporters group called Black Herons United, which they're doing some good work, just trying to bring in the non-Hispanic side of the fandom, which is quite a significant amount. The Caribbean, basically a non-Latin side, which is a part of the fandom. And right. I say this because there's a lot of non-Spanish speaking people who live in Miami and Florida that don't speak Spanish. So a lot of Miami's content, sometimes they forget to bring in subtitles, or even post-match conferences, they don't necessarily translate that. So that also alienates a lot of people. Yep. And even like in non-Spanish speaking countries, there's a lot of people who DM me who are, I don't know, from Saudi Arabia or Africa or non-Spanish speaking European countries that want to follow along, but they don't translate anything. And that's alienating a lot of fans that way. And so I would make the content more accessible to everyone, so they can have feel a little bit closer to the team. And finally, the last thing I'd do is the team's getting ready to transition into Miami Freedom Park. It should be completed around late 2025. It's already started construction. So I would try to switch focus from them maybe not being as yes, they do things in the community, mainly in South Florida and Fort Lauderdale, but I would completely switch to maybe focusing on the Miami-Dade aspect of things and try to bring up pop-up shops, or have a team store that's in the heart of like Brickell or downtown, or like a Dolphin Mall or the airport. Like every time like you go to the airport,
like the Heat.
Yeah, there's Miami Heat's pop-up stores in Dolphin Mall, at the airport, any large shopping area in South Florida. There's always
we weren't a basketball town.
No, yeah, I mean I would say no, yeah, but
And by the way, the hockey team is doing a marvelous job also.
And all they're out of sight, out of mind for me.
And by the way, all their players don't speak great English either.
Right. And so there we go. So it reminded me they have there's a couple of steps they can do to just kind of reconnect the fandom, which I do think they're taking steps towards, but once to bring in the having the Messi fans being converted into Inter Miami fans, there have been a couple that do follow the team even when Messi's not playing, which is a good thing. But in order to get the fans set and permanent for when the new stadium opens up, I think there's some things that Inter Miami can do, starting with the things that I listed, basically.
Yeah, they definitely have to do a better job of connecting with the community. It's a real shame in that sense. Alex, what do you got going on? Heron Report and all kinds of stuff. Tell them.
Yeah, so I'm still hanging in there with my Substack, still doing that, still covering the team, still writing for Bleacher Report. I'm in school now, so I'm juggling that and doing my schoolwork. So yeah, same old. You can find me on Twitter covering the team, reporting the team. I also do, U.S. men's national team stuff with the women's team as well. So follow me there, and you'll get pretty much every Inter Miami update that is available. You can find it on my social media or my Substack or when I write for Bleacher Report.
All right, good stuff as always, and follow her on Twitter at AAW_1998. She's as insightful as it gets when it comes to Inter Miami. She knows her football. Alex, as always, thank you. Really appreciate it. We will catch up down the line in the playoffs.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. There you go. The great Alex Winley. Excellent work by her as always. Angel Zuniga. Thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. He says McDaniel is a fraud. The league figured him out. Good luck being all the players' best friends. Yeah, that has definitely backfired on his ass. You're right about that. All right, let's do it. Give me 1 minute, and we'll be back with more right here on the Big O Radio Show.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
We're back. Yes. The one and only Steve Calabro. There we go. You got the echo out? Okay. Steve Calabro in the house.
Big O.
Yes?
The Jersey Wise guy was actually apologizing this morning. He says, listen, I haven't been picking him right. He goes, but Steve, it's all about like a yin and a yang. He says, I'm in 3 fantasy leagues. I'm in first place in all fantasy leagues. I can't make a mistake with fantasy, but I'm making mistakes on my picks. So he was apologizing. He was apologizing. He says, some years I'm picking good, and some years my fantasy stinks. He goes, this year I'm like the fantasy king. So,
all right.
Now
however you can make the money, baby.
I'm in 1 fantasy league, and all I know is that I beat my son and my best friend. I'm 3-1. I could quit right now. Yes, I'm good right now. I'm all right. I don't ask for much. I'm going to see my son it's my wife's birthday this Sunday. Happy birthday.
Nice.
Happy birthday.
How's she feeling? Feeling good?
She's feeling good. The foot, been 8 weeks today.
Okay.
Coming back. It's coming back. She's not doing her Zumba yet. She's a Zumba girl. She does the Zumba for exercise, but she's coming back. She's coming back.
Okay.
I told her, I said, you're on the injury reserve. It's a little longer than 4 weeks. It's an 8-week injury reserve. We'll have you in the lineup. She'll be in the lineup and ready before the playoffs.
Okay.
More than I can say about the Dolphins.
Not the Dolphins, but just the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when the playoffs are being
Although
viewed.
Inter Miami just won the Supporters Shield, #1 team in the league, best record. Can't wait to get to. Yeah, but still, man, you still got to get it done. But they were 8-1 when Messi was out.
Yeah, that's the impressive part. That means they're very
legit.
Good. Yeah, they're very good.
No, it shows you that. That's what I was talking with Alex. That now, as an Inter fan, I feel great that when Messi does retire in another year,
we're not going to fall apart.
We're not going to fall apart. We're going to be really. We're beating some of the best teams in the league without Messi and Suarez and Rojas.
Perhaps
that's ridiculous.
Perhaps the management of the Inter Miami team could take a ride just across county there to the offices, the administration offices up the turnpike there, and talk to Chris Greer and the gang. Because
great minds think alike, because that's how I opened the show. I opened the show by talking that Inter Miami started the worst you can possibly start. They hired the wrong general manager, the wrong coach. They built the team before they hired the coach.
Oh, yeah.
And then the coach came on, and then the coach started telling the general manager, no, you got to get rid of this guy, that guy, he doesn't fit. They did all the wrong things. You were only supposed to have 3 international slots. They had 5. They broke rules. This is the last year of their financial penalties from that.
Wow. And
they fired their general manager, fired their head coach. They got a new general manager. They got a new coach. They got a new direction and turned it around right away. So, the problems that the Dolphins have been facing for decades that they can't fix, the Moss family, after screwing up, they fixed their problem like within a year.
So what you're saying, Big O, is it's a great lead-in.
Where were the Panthers?
Well,
before Viola and Sifu?
Viola has done the phenomenal.
Where was the Heat going before Mickey Arison bought them? So the bottom line is, if you have great management, you will get places. And unfortunately, the management has not gotten it done for one team, but we're watching the management for several. Where are the Marlins and their management?
Well, that's been years.
But that's what I'm saying is, if either, and the Dolphins are trying, but they just haven't been able to find the right mix. The Marlins don't even try. So I get that.
Yeah, the Marlins, you can almost see it. I agree with you. The Marlins,
they're not even trying.
Years that they're
not even trying.
They're going through the motions.
They're not even trying. But the Canes, they had a problem too. And they did not have the custodian to run the goddamn program. And now it looks like Mario Cristobal,
He's the
after
deal.
the first 2 hairy years that he inherited
Had
a
some
lot
bad
of shit,
game day,
but he inherited a lot of shit.
Yeah, but he had game day mistakes.
He
which
made,
you
right,
learn from.
okay, so now he's learning from them. It looks like you're not seeing the same game day mistakes.
No.
You're seeing players that give a shit. They're playing hard. They're coming back. They're winning games. You know what I'm saying? So they fixed their problem.
So what I'll say, because I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but I mean, look, I'm sure Chris Greer is a great guy, and I'm sure
he is. I'm sure he is.
And you know, McDaniel is probably a really nice guy.
He's a
right?
fantastic human
really
being.
nice person. One, in terms of McDaniels, he's in over his head.
Yeah, just
okay.
looks like
He's
it,
in over his head. I think at best,
if you had a real coach, you'd be 3-1 or 2-2.
at least
right
2-2. We'd be 2-2.
Worst
We'd be-
case scenario, 2-2.
But so I think personally, McDaniel, certain guys hit ceilings. You know what I mean? I think you hit a ceiling sometimes, and maybe that ceiling gets lifted 10 years from now in your career. But right now, Mike McDaniels is a position coach.
Yeah.
I don't even think.
Oh, he's not a coordinator.
He's not an offensive coordinator because he's
No.
calling the plays right now.
Right.
But what's going to happen is if he gets fired, somebody's going to hire him as an OC, and they're nuts. They're nuts.
Right. Yeah,
that
no,
person is nuts.
I don't think they'll hire him as an OC at this point.
He's a
because
position
he's
coach.
He's a. I call him a play designer.
He's a position coach. He'll go coach the receivers or coach the.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's him. Now, look, Chris Greer.
And
he's
it
been
looks
around-
more like Tua was carrying his ass, not him.
Absolutely,
maybe.
absolutely. But Chris Greer made some. I think he made some big errors.
No,
One
yeah.
is on the offensive line. I don't think we
got it.
I don't think we did what we needed to do, even half of what we needed to do. And backup quarterbacks are important, especially when your quarterback is fragile.
Nobody can.
You know, but
Nobody can argue those points.
We sort of got blinded by Tua didn't get hurt for a year.
Yeah.
Think about what we're saying. There's a lot of players that get hurt for a
but
year.
I don't know. Okay, but I gotta think that they tried and somehow failed at it or something.
No, but
because
okay, here.
Did you really? I just have a hard time believing that you thought Skyler and White were the answer.
Yeah,
and then I really have a problem with Mike McDaniel that he basically was sold on Skyler, and then he sold him to us, which I never really saw it, and it was just one of those things. And I'm like, wow, you're around this guy for 2+ years, and that's how he performs. That's an indictment on you, coach.
So
more than anything,
this is an opinion of mine. Great coaches coach up during adversity.
Amen.
Right?
Spoelstra.
Yeah, right.
All the time.
McDaniel isn't doing that.
No,
We
he
see
can't.
that, right?
Not even close.
Great coaches look at their players and they adapt the plays, the game, the approach to the game, whatever game it is, baseball, football, whatever.
Amen.
To the players they have. Think about basically McDaniels is a backwards coach. He's saying, this is my system. You either fit in it or not.
Right.
How about if you look at get the best players you can and make the system that works with those players? Because you're not the way he's doing it, you got to sort of get lucky. And then God forbid somebody gets hurt. You need a backup that's in your system.
In pregame, we find out that Paul is starting. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not really happy about that because, okay, if he's got to do a lot of pass pro, that's not good for him. He's going to make some mistakes. That's not fair to him, right? And then I assume I go, oh, okay, well, wait a minute. You got Huntley. They're going to run a lot. Because you're going to have Paul mauling. Because once Paul gets his hands on you, you're cooked. You're done. And they didn't do that. They went with passing.
Yeah,
and they went with what you're saying.
Even their runs were around end runs. They weren't. Nothing was very little was up the middle. They were apparently.
And they actually had some success the few times they did it actually up the middle.
It almost looked like. So I was at the game.
I saw Eichenberg help clear out one of the holes for it. Like Eichenberg, the guy that's been killed the most. And it's but they still didn't run up the middle.
But I have another problem too with the Dolphins.
It's crazy.
And it relates to coaching and organizational stuff. If you really look at the Dolphins, right, they've gotten crushed the last 3 games, right? You're talking, 31-10, 24-3, 31-12. That's getting
terrible.
That's getting
terrible
your ass
coaching,
beat, right? Pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
But even the game they won, they were
lucky.
basically one play away from losing it.
Right.
If ETN doesn't fumble going into the end zone, the game's a whole different game, right? And the Jags are not good.
And they're Jags.
Yeah, the Jags are the Jags, right? The Jags are
Jags.
Now the Titans. I'm at the game, right? And it was like, at the Buffalo game, my wife, she's a fan, but she doesn't really know the technical side of the game, right? And she's saying, and he's making all kinds of McDaniel's making all kinds of bad play calls. And she says to me, she says, man, his play calling's really bad. This is a woman that knows maybe very little about play calling, and she's assessing this, And I'm saying
my wife can't stand the guy anymore.
I don't think my wife
I'm watching a press conference and she's like, "Oh no, I got to get out of here. I can't listen to this man."
Think about it. Sports guys understand what McDaniel's doing wrong. Quasi sort of sports fans that like the Dolphins, they like the whole fanfare of going to the game. They're picking up on it now.
Yeah.
They're picking up on the technical mistakes that he's making.
Yeah.
How can he not see it? How can somebody? I don't know. Anyway,
he's going to get everybody fired.
Yeah,
because you think about it, everybody would be fine if we're 3-1 or 2-2. We really wouldn't be complaining or
Nobody
bitching
would
nearly.
be complaining.
We wouldn't be complaining because most of the league is 2-2 or 3-1 or
we're
whatever.
1-3 and could be 0-4
and should be 0-4.
Yeah,
should be 0-4.
Yeah.
Actually,
I would
we're 1-3 and should be 0-4.
Yeah.
Because that's how you played to be 0-4. You just got lucky that they made the mistake.
Yeah, we didn't win that game. They lost.
No, they lost. They lost the game.
And last year we were good.
Yeah,
our offense was good till the end of
the second half of the season, the offense was starting to run out of gas too because they were figuring his ass out. And he kept doing all those stupid screens that he keeps doing, and it's like,
I don't know. It's a problem.
The Buffalo game, the few times they attacked, they succeeded, and then they stopped attacking, and it was just like the weirdest thing.
It's gonna be a rough fix. It's going to take way longer than the fans are going to.
It's going to be a rough 2 years.
Yeah, it's going to take
because they're not firing anybody because everybody got extensions. So they'll bring them all back next year with you got to try to fix it and then and all that. And there's no way of fixing McDaniel.
I know. And
that's the problem.
Okay, so now we solidify at the end of 2 years that it's a done deal. Now you have to have a 2-year build.
I know.
So now you're talking 3-4 years. This is painful to hear. I mean, I was talking to my stepson today.
Hey, listen, when you see Tyreek not even go after the football, that's disgusting.
I was talking to my stepson.
This guy's a constant fuck up.
He's saying this guy's a lifelong fan. My stepson, lifelong Dolphin fan from New Jersey, but somehow fell in love with the Dolphins. When he was a young kid, and he's like beside himself. He cannot believe how bad they went from last year's offensive.
Production.
I understand they fell apart as a team, but
the production
were fairly exciting to watch. They were moving. It doesn't. His quote: "It doesn't look like they can get a first down."
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't. It's like it's a struggle to get a first down.
Yeah, it's the coach.
Anyhow, back. We'll move to the next thing. Sports betting. Don't forget. We love sports betting here at Hialeah Park.
The sports wheel, bro. That wheel is. We have wheel's going crazy.
We have re-energized. We need your viewers.
Although Sean and I just want to land on the pizza.
Well, there's a $400 slice up there. You want pizza.
But yeah, it's just kind of what I think of pizza. You guys make actually pretty good pizza here. So,
That's ice cream Sunday.
Ice cream
Sunday. You want to land on a pizza and then Sunday second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a winner right there. There's $400. There's 50. There's 300. There's 25. There's 50.
Nice.
It's 100. There's 75. There's 200. But I like the pizza and the ice cream.
Basically, there's so much in terms of the new promotions.
You should have.
What would he like?
You should
try again.
You should have one of those slots. Should be a Bitcoin slot.
A Bitcoin. It's 65,000 for a Bitcoin.
No, you send them $50 of Bitcoin, $100 of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They win like one slot is $50 Bitcoin, and then they win it. You just give them $50 Bitcoin. I doubt they'll go for that.
I'm going to come clean now. I'm going to come clean. When we pay you that $100 something,
you go buy Bitcoin yourself.
We give you a chip.
Oh,
by the way,
okay,
chips.
So where you go?
Guess where you could use the chips?
Yeah.
No, but where you could use them is on the tables.
On the tables. Some of them are going to go right to the window and cash that chip.
Some.
But most people are going to go to the tables.
Yeah, more than half go to the table. Now, when the tables can take Bitcoin, I'll give them Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I want that to happen tomorrow.
Yeah. But that won't happen because that's Digital.
There might be a day. Maybe no technology can do something.
Yeah, digital. Yeah, digital payments. Yeah,
digital
you
payments
could.
there.
Yeah, you could have it.
Could easily. There's technology in place.
Yeah.
That you could have Bitcoin in the slot machine.
Oh, for sure.
It's not operational. Nobody's approved it yet.
Right.
But
it's already prepared.
I could buy it tomorrow.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, next week I'm going to miss. Next week I'm going to Las Vegas. Going to Las Vegas to buy our. We go once a year to buy our new slot machines, and that's the big show where all the slot machines get it. And I'll if I'm at one of the booths where they have Bitcoin in the slot machine, I'll send you a little photo.
Okay, good.
Send you a little photo. The thing
because that's coming, man.
Oh, the technology is fully developed.
Yeah.
For sale, but we can't. It has to be approved by regulators.
And you
we're heavily regulated.
And you, that's what was the Crypto Bro Show? One of the things about regulation.
Yeah.
And once regulation kicks in,
we got to catch up.
It's going to explode like nothing people have ever seen in their lives. And I've been trying to warn everybody for years about this.
It's pretty good.
You've been orange pilled now, huh? You just haven't bought yet.
I haven't bought yet.
But now you understand. If you see that they already got the machines ready, what do you think they know? What do you think they know?
I didn't say.
And those people.
I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the world here.
No, but those people are. But those people are.
I'm so damn conservative when it comes to investments. And when you
they know. They know what's been going on. Again, I don't care about either side. What's been going on is that the people that have been in charge the last 4 years have cock-blocked this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, by all means.
They have done everything to kill it, slow it, and stop Americans from getting better and improving their lives through it. Why? Because they want to tie you to CBDCs and all that other bullshit. And so this is why it's been a problem. Again, I don't care about either side. I rip them both. But I'm just saying, in this moment, I have to rip the blue side. Is what I have to rip because they've been the ones that have been, and I know because I've been at this for almost 5 years now, and I've been watching them constantly screw me over. So I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Now, the toothpaste is out of the tube. They're screwed. They know they have to change. Ro Khanna, the Democrat senator from California, came out and said, we need a Bitcoin reserve. So he's already come off of the rest of the assholes and said, yeah, I'm not doing this with you guys. I need to go this way because I don't want to be I don't want to be shown in history that I'm Elizabeth Warren and I said all kinds of stupid lies and I deceived the American public and I lied to them about all of this when all the crimes are normally committed with cash, not with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's an open ledger that you can track every transaction. Why would a criminal want to be tracked?
Yeah, trackable transactions on a system. Are you kidding me? Like,
there's no way you want to do. And why do you think they want to build CBDCs on a blockchain? Because they can track and control everything.
Look, it's
so they tell you that it's bad, but they want to use it for bad.
Well, listen, what's going to happen?
You know what I mean?
I think it's going to rocket, and it has gone up in the last few years, triple. I get it.
Did you hear my stat today? Oh, you didn't hear the stat.
I didn't hear the stat.
If you had $1 million, which I know you have, okay, I know.
Can you tell me where that is?
He has $1 million in the bank. Did you know if you had $1 million in the bank a year ago to this day, you know how much your million is worth?
880?
$660,000. You have lost 34% of your buying power. If you had $1 million in Bitcoin a year ago, and we've been in a 6-month slide, a year ago, what would you have now? 1 million. What would you have now? With the slide, $2.2 million.
Oh, I was going to say $1 million change.
Bitcoin has been in a slide for 6 months, and it's up 120% from a year ago today. It's up 120%. So, and by the way, do you think it's going to change on the dollar side that your money's ever going to go up in value?
No, not with these bozos. And these bozos got a shot of being around for a while.
And the other bozos printed $8 trillion.
Yeah, they're no.
They're
a little better, but they're not as it relates to Bitcoin.
As it relates to business. But the next president prints 10 trillion, no matter what.
Yeah.
Because it's a debt-ridden society is what I keep trying to explain. It has nothing to do with Democrats or Republicans. Right now, the whole railroading of crypto and Bitcoin has been driven by Democrats. I get that. But now they all know they have to get on board, and the next. So Harris will be on board, and Trump has to be on board because he sees he started his own crypto company.
Yeah, no, he's on board.
Yeah, of course he's on board because all the Republicans have talked to him
I
and
think
said
he sees he can make money himself.
Of course,
Yeah,
of
he can
course,
make money
of
himself.
course. That's all he cares about. But I mean, all the other Republicans are legit. They actually understand it. They were in it. They're behind it. They really back it. They understand that it's the better for all of us. So my point is, it just shows you where one is going and where the dollar, the pound, the ruble, the euro, it doesn't matter which one. All fiat currencies are dying because they all are printing in order to stay.
I promise.
We just bailed out a bank, $2.6 billion, and we're now going to. How do you bail them out? You got to print
cash,
$2.6 billion
cash
to pay out everything.
Print it up, print more money.
And guess who pays for that? You do.
Middle class dude.
All of us.
Oh, by the way,
all of us.
I'm going to shift for just. I just
and
want
by
to
the way,
say
so the banks screw up, and we have to bail them out.
Look,
think about that.
We all grew up. I think we all grew up sort of middle class, right?
Oh yeah,
whatever. It was different levels.
Sometimes,
of middle class, right?
I was at times just a little bit under middle class.
Yeah,
when I was a kid.
I was on food stamps, so maybe I was.
No,
too, right?
and I wasn't ever there, but I was just in between.
There was a couple of years we were on food stamps, right? Now, my mother received. Matter of fact, it wasn't even good because we had to pay half the amount. It was kind of sucky. Like some people had food stamps; they had the whole value of the stamp. We had to sort of pay for half of our food stamp or something like that. And so, but I could tell you, I hate to go political on this one, but it just bothers me. So I have to mention it. I don't know any of my hundreds of people that I knew middle class whose parent or two parents had a doctorate degree. As a matter of fact, most of the 100 or 200 people that I knew in my world didn't have a college degree. As a matter of fact, in early 60s, about 5% of the population had a college degree.
Right.
There's people claiming to be middle class, and both of their parents have PhDs in the 60s. That's not middle class.
Right, that's not middle class.
I just want to clarify that. Let's go back to sports. But I hear that, I'm like, huh?
Yeah. No.
I don't know if I knew any of 200. If I went to 500 of my people that I knew.
Yeah, in Little Havana, that wasn't.
There wasn't
the
too
case.
many people with PhDs, right?
No, that wasn't the case. Everybody was a working stiff in Little Havana.
Let alone both parents. In the
both parents
in the
working
60s. In the 60s. Anyhow, back to Hialeah Park. We have just re-energized the poker room. That's why you see the wheel. You see all the promos.
One second. Joe Gonzalez asking, Big O, how come no more call-in radio shows? Joe, because most callers suck. All right, go ahead.
Well, he can. He can text in.
Yeah, they can text in, and then I can pick and choose the good ones.
If it's not an
but
appropriate.
there's a lot of shit there, right? And that usually the
a little bit rough.
Usually,
Joe's probably not bad.
Yeah, probably. There's a good chance he's not, but there's a great chance that most of your callers, they just bring in crap.
Yeah,
and it slows the shows down and all, and so that's why they don't take calls anymore. So that's why, Joe, the callers slow the show down and they take it in other directions and all that, and they don't care about.
Let me end with the Jersey guy picks.
All right, I love it. Oh, wait,
here we go.
Let me pull it up. All
right, so it's a big one. Hey, I was just digress here for a second. A friend of mine called me today and was afraid if they should wear their Dolphin apparel or not. This is
in Buffalo?
No, they live in Miami-Dade County.
Oh, well, yeah, that's just out of pure embarrassment. Yeah, it's.
I advise to wear it and stay true for a little while. Nobody's gonna beat you up just because the Dolphins are that bad.
I will live and die aqua and orange. I will sport my Dolphins.
Think about that's so bad we've gotten to.
I know. I get it.
Oh, by the way,
I get it. But I want you all to know that I live and die, no matter what.
I saw
no matter how painful it is, I will sport the colors.
I was reading the news, and there was a ranking of teams. Dolphins were ranked 31st. The Patriots were ranked 32nd.
Not after next week. Not after Sunday. Sunday.
This is the tiebreaker.
Sunday we dropped to 33.
Yeah. The bottom bowl.
They go. Whoever's in number one in college, they'll just pump them up to 32, and they'll knock us to 33.
First couple of teams in college will be better than us.
Yeah. In fact, with Inter winning yesterday, they're the better football team in town, and not the Dolphins. Okay. All right. So what do we got picks
All right.
today?
So we got this is amazing. I don't know. He's sometimes crazy, but he likes the given 7 points. Cardinals over. I mean the Niners over the Cardinals. Niners over the Cardinals.
Oh, okay. 7.5. Yes. Yeah. He likes the Niners.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Cardinals
7.5. This one says 7. He
until
sent
I
me
see
7.5 actually.
Until I see Kyler Murray run a more explosive offense, I cannot count on Arizona. And it's not that the kid can't play. He can play. But somehow or another, they don't produce a lot of points with him at quarterback. And that is a problem in the NFL. In the NFL, you got to be able to score points. You know, we went through those Joe Philbin and Adam Gase years, and, you know, they'd struggle to score 20, 25 points in a game. You know what I mean? In the NFL, you got to be able to score 25 plus like it's going out of style. And the Arizona Cardinals, and especially under Kyler Murray, since he's been there, they are just rarely ever explosive enough to win games. Just look at their point totals.
Yeah.
And it's always low. So, yeah, I'm going to go with San Francisco and their defense doing enough. I know they've got a couple of injuries, but I still think they'll be enough. There'll be enough.
Next one has put me 3-1 in my fantasy league. Commanders over the Browns, giving up 3.5. I know it's in Cleveland, but
no, it's in Cleveland, is it? I thought it was in Washington.
This says Commanders versus Browns. It doesn't have the location here.
It's Washington.
Okay, so forget it. Take that all day long.
I love the Commanders in this one.
And Jaden Daniels is for real. Do you realize he has less incompletion? He has more scoring drives than incompletions.
Yeah.
He has more scoring drives than incompletions.
He plays
good.
He plays efficient is what I like about him so far.
Is he good.
So far, at least. You know, I know it's
games.
Young and I don't want to get crazy, but he has looked the part, dude.
Between Jaden Daniels, it's 4 weeks. Sam Darnold, 4 weeks.
Well,
we said it at 2 weeks, too.
Right. But Sam Darnold has been bad throughout, and this is nice to see him kind of resurrect. So this one might be real, actually. We'll see.
Hey, maybe Kevin O'Donnell's he's a hell of a coach.
Maybe he's a hell of a coach. And maybe also Sam ends up in the right system with the right person. Sometimes that's not the situation, you know, like Flo and Tua. And so you can't succeed with somebody like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, maybe
Flo's killing it in Minnesota. Yeah. But maybe the system is never there. Maybe there isn't a good system in an organization like the Jets because Geno's knocking it out of the park. You know, Sam Darnold's knocking it out of the park. They were all Jet quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so bad situation. That's all.
I don't think that's anyhow. So Commanders, number 3. Chiefs -5.5 over the Saints.
Oh, wait a minute. Where is that game?
Chiefs over the
Saints.
Saints.
It is in Kansas City. Okay, I can go with that. Okay. Right? Yeah, they can win by a touchdown. I can see that.
No, I didn't.
I can see that. Now I can also see the Saints keeping it close because Kamara is playing his ass off.
He is doing.
And the quarterback has been absolutely solid.
So last game he was a little slowed down.
Yeah. Okay, but I would. But overall,
no, he's having a good year. He's having a
really good year. Instead of that, I like the over 43.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I don't think 43 is a high number for the Saints and the Chiefs that they can each put up points.
Both can
here.
score touchdowns. They can throw. Both have.
I can see a game in the 20s here.
But the Chiefs haven't been scoring a lot of points. They look, Rashid. I mean, Rashid Rice is out, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So you know, they're going to have limit. It's going to be Kelsey,
and Worthy.
The
Worthy kid can fly.
In our fantasy league,
you know what? The over and under without Rashid Rice.
But Worthy isn't bad. He's just
I
young.
know, but Rashid Rice factor is
at
least Rashid Rice can help his mom steal packages from people's porches now. Although Rashid Rice won't be, he's on one leg. Yeah, I know he can't do it. Well, he can drive.
Yeah,
if it's the
getaway.
left foot, he can drive.
Yeah, the getaway car.
He can drive the getaway car.
Yeah.
Did you see his mom got?
I heard about it. I didn't see it.
There's a video and she's in her Kansas City Chiefs, Mrs. Rice, Mama Rice. She's in her Mama Rice jersey.
Well, she's truly a fan.
Fresh from the game and stealing your packages from Huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Kansas City mascot. Yeah.
Well, they don't want to take their clothes
Banks.
off. Apparently, they don't take their apparel off.
Well, the Chiefs, they all their receivers are troubled people. You know what I'm saying? So, it's kind of a thing. We have them here.
Yeah, we have.
We unfortunately have them here. You know what I mean? And we've inherited that trouble. It's there's positives and there's negatives, but somehow or another, the Chiefs moved on and won titles without him.
Listen,
they're like, yeah, you have a great life. Yeah, no, they're going to pay you.
Yeah,
we'll accommodate the trade. No problem. No problem. Here you go.
Oh, by the way, we'll take those first round draft choices.
We'll take those picks. We'll take those picks. No problem. No problem.
Exactly.
No problem. Hey, we'll send you pics of our championships. You be good out there in Miami. Enjoy yourself.
And keep complaining. You can complain there. It's nice and warmer there when you complain.
There.
Yeah.
Speed over there. Do whatever you want to do. Light your house on fire. Get 5 other women pregnant. Do whatever you want. It's Miami.
At any rate,
it's Florida. We do whatever we want here in Florida.
It is a pretty good state, though.
It is a great state.
I love it.
Tyreek can do whatever he wants.
It is a state of confusion, but it's a great state.
Yes.
At any rate,
he's got the only one I disagree. I'm going with the over on that one. He gave me an idea. I might go with the over on that one.
No, he gives his 4th pick. I don't even want to tell you the 4th pick.
Why? What is it? It's Miami or something?
No, I hate it. I'm not a believer. He likes the Bears over the Panthers. I understand the Panthers.
Well, the Panthers are terrible. What's the line?
3.5. They're giving.
Panthers are different now.
No. He came back to real life this past week. The Andy Dalton thing went 1 week, and then the next week he became Andy Dalton again.
He's every other week.
Yeah,
this is his week to be good. Listen, it's not hard to be good against the Panthers.
But the Bears can play defense.
I know.
Yeah, they got some defense.
I don't know. I'm not sold on the Bears.
I'm not either. But what's the spread?
3.5.
That's not.
Is it
in Chicago?
I don't know. My sheet. I got to get a different sheet with. I don't have the home team thing here.
Is it in Chicago? Because 3.5, and you're home.
The Panthers are pretty bad.
No, I know that's why. Oh yeah, it is. It's at Chicago.
Oh, so he's got 4 pretty good picks here.
Yeah,
you're not against the sheep thing. You just like the over better.
Yeah, I just like the over better. And although the Rashee Rice thing might affect me,
but Worthy could step in. He's just got to get one touchdown. And Chelsea gets.
Yeah,
and look, remember,
and that son of a bitch figures out ways to do it.
No,
Mahomes makes everybody better, man.
Pacheco's out.
I know that's a huge loss.
That's
a huge loss.
I'm going to end it with this. This is like almost a near perfect end. You know where Pacheco's from?
Jersey?
New Jersey.
No wonder he's a tough. No wonder he's a tough son of a bitch.
South Jersey, as a matter of fact.
No wonder he's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's
Jersey people are tough, bro.
He's a South Jersey guy, and he's a great football player in Jersey. Great football player.
Yeah. No wonder.
Yeah, the good old.
It just goes with the whole place.
No, Jersey are good guy. They're good people.
No, but tough. But it's an area that
some of them are edgy.
It's an area that breeds tough people.
Some edgy. You should have seen the Jersey guy when he was young.
If you get a kid from Philly, he's tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you get a kid from the streets of Chicago, he's going to bring an edge to himself, right? Yeah. If he's a basketball player, because I don't know, do they produce football players? But if you get in Chicago, I don't know.
In Chicago,
but basketball player, you're going to get a ton of them. And you're gonna get a hard nosed some bitch that comes out of Chicago.
The Jersey wise guy, he's a little older than me now, right?
But I think there's some guy named Wade is from there.
It's some guy. When the Jersey wise guy was young, he was a little bit edgy.
Yeah,
he used to be one of those guys.
You get a Florida kid in football.
It's gonna be edgy.
You're going to get a some bitch.
He's gonna defend himself.
You're going to get a some bitch. That's just kind of the way it is. You get an lineman from Nebraska, Wisconsin.
No, an offensive lineman from Wisconsin.
Yeah, an offensive lineman. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you only need one of them instead of 2.
He's going to eat half your refrigerator and tackle and block everybody, to block out the sun. It's just there's just some things that goes.
So what we figured out is we are now going to do draft picks by geography.
It helps. It helps.
All of our offensive linemen have to be from cattle country and farms in Wisconsin and Nebraska.
I think most of us would not complain.
We could have a couple of those. We should have a few.
You know, if
Anyhow.
you just get a guy from Texas, you just know. Okay, that's
Well, yeah, he's gonna
just
be
a big old bull that's blocking for us. You know, that's all.
Yeah, good fullback from Texas. Yeah, play the game.
You know, it just kind of goes with the territory. It is what it is.
All right, Big O.
All right, baby.
Take care.
Appreciate
have a
you
good one.
always.
Let's hope that we have some good picks.
Let's hope so.
And I think so.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
Jersey guys.
We need to make up for what might
you-
happen on Sunday at 1:00.
He's real confident about this week.
All
He's
right.
just feeling it. You know, he called me this morning. I hadn't even. It was like 8:00 in the morning. I said, "What are you doing?" Because I've been looking at this for a couple hours. Last night he's studying it. He feels really good about it because he felt bad that he's killing it in fantasy and not in his picks.
Oh, that
So
happens.
he really went deep. He dug
So
deep.
now, hopefully, he gets on a roll where he gets hot for a few weeks. That's
He
good.
was a hell.
That's
He
gambling.
was a hell of a ball player himself, and a hell of a basketball coach.
Oh, okay.
Like an amazing basketball coach.
Okay.
You know, like just and he had a good shot, but he was.
So he doesn't make basketball picks?
You know, I've never asked him.
No.
I'm not a basketball
basketball
better. I'm not a
coach.
basketball better.
Well, it's coming up.
I'm sure he can make very good picks, but I'm not a basketball better.
Late October, it starts.
Yeah, I'm just not. I'm more of a football better.
I know, but we do have the basketball season after the football season.
I will tell you one last thing again.
And it's not good to bet early because you're trying to figure things
who's
out.
who.
But by the time the football season's over, you know how the basketball
Oh,
teams
yeah.
are, and then maybe he may
Oh,
check
you know
with
who-
him.
you
He
know
might
who's
have some
you know
picks for
who's
us.
a better basketball? My stepson's a better basketball picker.
Oh yeah.
Oh, knows any and every stat for the last 30 years about the NBA.
Okay.
Any and every stat. Like
All right.
he's like
Good
and
shit.
he's smart. You know, he's a smart.
Well, he's the Bitcoin kid, right?
Well, both my sons been big, but
Okay.
but he's also he's an emergency room nurse.
Right.
And he played poker for like 10 years.
Okay.
And so he kind of he's got
Right. He's got a gambling mind.
He understands
Numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, analyticals and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyhow, but I'm not a basketball better, so and even maybe I should be careful with football betting.
It's like Tua. You got to stay in your lane.
Remember I said
Don't run, asshole. Yeah, stay in your lane. You know your lane. That's it. We were talking about that. Knowing
Yeah.
your limitations in life. It's so important.
Yeah, knowing what not to do.
Right.
So I remember 2 weeks ago I bet
Dealer's got a 6 and you got a 7. Are you hitting? No. You let him bust.
Let him break.
Yes.
So 2 weeks ago I win the under, right? So now I go back and I bet the under. That Tyler, Huntley.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that screwed me on the under. I hate when garbage touchdowns.
Yeah.
Screw you.
The bet that I won was Huntley over 33.5 yards rushing. That's the bet.
I didn't bet
that was the prop. I was telling all week. I was saying, hey, are the props up yet for the runs? Because I was waiting for the Huntley one because I knew that they would come in initially with a low number.
What did he have?
Like 40, and it was
he didn't have
33 and a
that
half.
much. Yeah.
But 33.5 is
Yeah,
not
it's
a
pretty
lot
low,
for a
yeah.
guy like that. And he still didn't run as much as I thought he would run, as much as this. I wanted him to run. I mean, come on, dude. He's not a passer. It's just like this coach drives me crazy.
Anyhow.
Anyway.
All right, guys.
All
Be
right.
good.
You got it.
I have a good one.
See you next
Adios.
week. The great Steve
2 weeks.
Calabro. Oh, in 2 weeks. See you in 2 weeks. The great Steve Calabro. And don't forget, you see the QR code there. You can get your $100 no regret first bet. They're just throwing money all over the place here. You got a wheel you can spin to win money. You show them that you open up your account here. You get another $50 to bet here. Come on, man. We're just dishing out cash here. See, your cash grows here. Loose slots. I mean, come on, let's go. Hialeah Park. Love it. So come on out. Use that QR code. Make your bet. Get your $100 no regret first bet and move on. All right. America has the world's reserve currency. It's important to detail. You're not explaining. My brother, the reserve currency is going down in value. What's any good of reserve currency when all it does is go down in value? And what you haven't mentioned is that China has dumped so much of our debt, and other countries are dumping our debt, and they're not carrying it. And other countries are starting to not use our money, our dollar, for their exchanges. So all of a sudden, the US dollar is being used less and less worldwide. You need to know the facts, my brother. I know the facts. Okay? You clearly do not know everything that you're talking about because you wouldn't have said that. What you're repeating is some bullshit someone told you on MSNBC or some crap somewhere else that you were watching. Oh, it's the reserve currency. And get out of here, bro. Everybody is loading up on gold and silver and all kinds of other things right now. And they're dumping fiat. They're dumping the U.S. dollar. You have no idea what you're talking about. It's going the other way. Yes, we have been the reserve currency of the world, but we are now losing that power. Okay? And stable coins will take all of that away. Again, you don't understand digital and you don't understand the blockchain. And that's what's going on here, my brother. There's a lot of stuff going on that you're not understanding. And I'm not sure if you've heard of the BRICS. And all the nations that are a part of the BRICS, and they're joining, and guess what they're staying away from? The dollar. I think you, Andy Jackson, you need to kind of do a little bit more homework, my brother. Okay? There was a time in turn of the century, the term vacation for the middle class meant a 6-month vacation. Wow, really? Holy shit. Love that. I call that retirement. That's you can vacation for 6 months. You must be retired. Let's see. Big heck of an inter-game last night. Yeah, man, it was awesome. And we talked about it earlier, and we had Alex Winley on. You may want to check it out. All the speed doesn't mean shit if you can't run block in 10-degree weather. Guess Mike and Greer had blinders on at Arrowhead. Well, that 2/3 or maybe 4/5 of your line were all screwed up there, and your defense. That Kansas City game, that was a shell of a team. They were too injured there to win anything. Elkin Heichel or whatever I think it is on the super chat. Thank you for the love in the super chat. Not spending another nickel on this team until there's new ownership and front office. Any organization that fails always starts at the top. I cannot argue. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate you. Gus 1388. Oh, my previous super chat was in response to Mr. Spock take on the Dolphins O-line earlier in the show. His logic was sound. Live long and prosper. Thank you, Gus. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Let's see. I talked about Angel Zuniga, who sent us a Venmo earlier, saying that McDaniel is a fraud. By the way, Bitcoin's still right around the same area, 60,744. And there you go. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. We start off, Alan Blanco, by the way, if you're looking for custom printing and embroidery, please call Alan Blanco at 3A Graphics. Anywhere in the country, man, you can do all this stuff by Zoom and all that, and they can ship it out to you. So if your corporation, your school, your business, you need uniforms, whatever it is you need, call 3A Graphics, Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. Inter Miami wins the Supporters Shield with the best record in the MLS with their victory last night over Columbus on the road, 3-2. Messi with 2 goals in the game, and Drake Callender with a massive save and a penalty kick to assure the victory for Inter Miami, 3-2. Tonight, 8:15, Thursday Night Football. Bucks at the Falcons. Falcons favored by 2. The over and under is 43.5. Sunday, 1 o'clock. Dolphins visit the Patriots. Yes, we all fear it. We'll be on with the post-game show and the pregame show, of course. Patriots by 1. Over and under is 36.5. Saturday, UM takes on Cal at 10 o'clock at night, 10:30. And UM is favored by 10.5. The over and under is 53.5. All right. Let's see. What do we have? Also on the chat board. Before I go to some talk here. What else? All right. We find out that Jalen Phillips suffers a knee injury, and I've got questions. First of all, Why are so many of you lazy? Do you know how that story broke first? That he busted his knee because Jordan Poyer's helmet hit his knee. And then everybody then repeated it and sent it out. Did they all bother to look at the video? Poyer's helmet never hit his knee. Yet I kept getting it sent to me and all that and knee. Writers are reporting it. And, you know, and I'm like, you guys watching this or something? Because it wasn't his helmet. But it's just so lazy how, you know, you don't bother to actually look at the low light yourself, you know, and yeah, Poyer undercut him and it looked like the back of his shoulder pads is what clipped his knee. Okay, but here's the question. First of all, he was already playing way too much coming off that Achilles surgery. So they were already playing with fire as it is. Of course, that's a freak thing that could happen to anybody. But let me ask you something. Why would they let him back in the game? Why would you let an injury-prone player go back to play again? Because he banged his knee, then he left, and then he came back and played. And played several plays by a couple series, right? Why? First of all, why are you playing a guy, an injury-prone player off an Achilles surgery? Why are you playing him that much? I think it's like 67 or 68% of the snaps he was on the field. I'm not exactly sure why you were already playing with fire as it is. And then if he does get banged up and it's a partial tear, did the partial tear happen then or did it happen after you put him back out on the field? Because you don't know that because you really didn't take him into an x-ray. You just kind of checked the knee. You didn't know if it was a partial tear, you're not sending him back out there, are you? No. So did it partially tear the first time or the second time? Anybody got an answer for that? No, you don't. I don't know. Could it have been just a strained ligament at that point? But why would you allow an injury-prone player to go back in a game? A guy that, I get it, but you have to protect players from themselves. So why not? I'm just spitballing here. Where am I wrong here? Where am I off here on this one? Explain that one to me, please. Where am I off on this one? If he banged his knee and then leaves the game and comes back, why did you do that? And then now we find out it's a partially torn ACL. When was it partially torn? Could you have avoided the partially torn ACL? Did that happen the second time he went back in? And then when he was slamming his helmet and all that stuff? Because maybe he really felt it then and wasn't feeling it nearly as much. I just wonder. Because you're never going to get the straight story, and neither am I. But I got to bring it up because, you know, I've been around the block a little bit. And now you can spin the story however the hell you want to spin it. If there's anything to spin. But you really can't tell me when did he partially tear it. But I just wonder, a guy that's injury prone, why would you send him back in the game? And I get it. It's intoxicating. We need pass rush. We got to win. The coaches' jobs, they probably feel it's on the line. They've got to perform this, that. So you do anything and, oh, coach, I'm fine. I'm good. And you're trusting the player. You get caught up in all of this. I'm just wondering how all of this was mishandled or handled or whatever. Just doesn't make sense to me, especially with that player. I mean, the second Teron Armstead gets banged up, what do? They pull him. They pull him. And why do you pull him? Because he's a sack of injuries. What the hell is Jalen Phillips? Since UCLA. a sack of injuries. He doesn't have luck. Not only is he injury prone, he doesn't have luck, right? He had a moped accident in California, right, in UCLA. And then now Poyer, clips him with the shoulder pad, not with the helmet. But, let's be accurate and let's watch the video before we kind of post it up and write articles and, a helmet to the knee. No, there was no helmet to the knee. But we're lazy and somebody puts helmet to the knee on a post and then we just repeat it and 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 repeat it. And it never happened. And when did the partial tear happen? The first time or the second time? Not exactly sure. Are you? What up, O? I think he came back too early. Of course he came back too early. And they used him way too much, Josh. These guys have balls. Phillips is going to play until physically no longer cannot. Same with Tua. You have to save them from themselves. You're right, Lemieux. You are 100% right. He was sent back in the same reason. Tua's going to be sent back in there. Yeah, but Tua controls this part. You can control Jalen Phillips at that point. See, here, the concussion and all that, this wasn't something like he was like the Buffalo game, that he got concussed and he still came back and played the second half. So clearly this staff is not very good at this. They don't know when to say when. You know that whole thing about drinking? They don't know when to say when. How do you send that guy back in? How do you send an injury-prone player like Jalen Phillips back in? And the question nobody asks, because they'll never be able to answer it. When did he partially tear it? We do things on this show that goes next level compared to other shows or writers or anything else. We talk about things that they're not going to talk about. They're not even going to think about. Because we play chess here, not checkers. So that's my question. When was that partial tear? Did you cause it by sending him back in there? Did you cause it by allowing him to go back in there? Nah, Jalen, we're going to hold you out, bro. Yeah, just rest that knee. It feels a little banged up. We'll get you some rehab next week or two. Maybe we get you back in a week or two, but we're going to hold you out. Now, he's gone for the year. And what, you're going to hurry him back again? Big O, I just saw the clip where you mentioned the lack of confidence from our coach. I remember the Waterboy movie when he lost again, and Bill, and he said on the fake phone talking to his mom, I miss you on the radio. I don't miss being on the radio, my brother. You got me here every day. Why do you need radio? You don't get like 8-minute commercial breaks every 10 minutes. You need me to do an 8-minute, 9-minute segment and then an 8-minute commercial break. Why would you miss me on radio? I'm here, dude. On demand whenever you want. Unfiltered. I can say what I want. I can tell you what really is going on, all that stuff. I can do the things that no writer and no reporter, no television, no radio guy can do. Or want to do, by the way. Because it does come with a lot of heat. Let's see. A show with depth rather than hot takes that don't have merit. Holy shit. Sign me up. Thank you, Lemieux. I want to hear more from the player on what they feel about McDaniel right now. They're not going to, bro, they've already done that. And they haven't lost the locker room. You think deep down inside they're going to tell you what they really feel? That, wow, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Because it's obvious. You see it. I see it. Come on, man. They see it. Did you buy anything Tyreek was saying that I was trying to motivate my guys? Come on. You saw it, right? Go on, 2-5. Yeah, let's go 2-5. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Come on, man. It's just that they treat us like we were born yesterday. And, you know, I get it. They get to fool some people. There are some of us you're not going to fool. And you're not fooling me. So, by the way, it became a story yesterday on social media for a lot of the reporters and everything. Did you notice it? Because the injury list came out. They all found out for the first time that OBJ was a knee. Just casually, I don't know, what have we been saying here for the last couple of days on the show? I don't know if you listen, right? I told you it was a knee, and they were all freaking out. Maybe you want to listen over here because, you know, I get it. I said he was going to play, and he didn't. I get it. But it was all there for him to play. Now, he had that setback right before, and I didn't know about the setback. The injury stuff, that's where I kind of have a gray area at times that I'm not going to get. But somehow or another, I told you the last couple of days it was a knee. You know, I didn't try to, no breaking news or anything, but casually I said it throughout. And then yesterday it came out on the thing, and we now know it's a knee. Well, you now know it's a knee. If you were listening to this show the last couple of days, you knew it was a knee. You know, but that's all right. Don't worry about it. You know, it's all good in the hood. Oh, man. The worst part for all of us as Dolphin fans is that we've experienced a lot of bad moments. And what we're watching right now is another chapter of those bad moments. And the sad part is, you know, I know you guys dislike, some of you dislike Greer, McKenzie, and Allen, the front office, and Stephen Ross and all of that. The sad part is that's really not necessarily the entire problem. You know, the real problem right now is that, unfortunately, they hired the wrong coach. Again, they hired the wrong one in Flo, and they hired the wrong one here. That I cannot argue that. I cannot defend it. I cannot hide it. I cannot make excuses for it. If you had a real coach, you'd easily be 2-2 or 3-1, and we wouldn't be complaining so much about the line or the screens or whatever it is that we're complaining about and all the stuff that happens. If he actually would get his shit together and you would be 2-2 or 3-1, which you easily could be, the complaints would be dying down a lot, right? But this is what's going on. And so then it's a house of cards because this affects everything. McDaniel doesn't put Tua in a proper position to be successful all the time. And then it doesn't help that Tua also makes bad decisions and puts himself and the team in a bad position all the time, right? So those things have affected everything that goes on. And then you've got the incompetence of McDaniel, where he doesn't know what down it is. He really doesn't actually know when to stay with the run in games. He cannot counter coaches when they're stifling him, and they figured out his screen shit for a while now, and he still can't counter it. He has a tight end again, and he still can't use him. You know, these are things that you had Skylar Thompson with you for 2+ years. You coached him for 2+ years. In every situation in practice, you watched him in a few games. You kept selling him to us. And in the moment of truth when you needed him, he looked like he never belonged in this league. That instills no confidence. And then we look at the Jalen Phillips situation. And I just talked about it. How is that mismanaged on the sidelines so badly? How is an injury-prone player like Jalen Phillips allowed to return to the lineup and play? And what they can never answer, never defend, or prove, where was the partial tear? Was it on the first go-around, or was it when you sent him back in? Because if it wasn't on the first go-around and it's just a sore knee, then just keep him out of the game, rest him for a week or two, and you've got him for the rest of the season. But did he partially tear it after? Because it seemed like he felt a hell of a lot more pissed the second go around. So when I look at how you mishandle players, mishandle situations, you can't even win a challenge. You don't even know when to challenge right. The other challenge the other day was just stupid. These are things I've watched this story before. Joe Philbin didn't get any better. Adam Gase didn't get any better. Flo didn't get any better. Kemp Cameron didn't get any better. Dave Wanstead didn't get any better. Joe Philbin didn't get any better. Why would he get better? I've seen this. I know where the Miami Dolphins season is headed and what direction it's headed in. Because when you don't have the right person leading your football team, there is no way. It doesn't matter what the personnel is. And this personnel should easily be 3-1 or 2-2, worst case scenario. Easily should be 3-1 or 2-2. So I get it. Slam the front office all you want. I can't defend it right now. I can't do anything. I understand that. But the biggest problem that the front office, the owner, the fan base, the players, everyone has is Mike McDaniel. That's the biggest problem. And that's the one that's going to piss all of us off. That's the one that will crumble that entire house of cards down, because eventually he really doesn't know how to handle his quarterback. Tua clearly has covered his ass up for the last couple of years, made him look better than what he really is. That's been proven. The only thing is he's a fantastic person. He instills confidence in people, but he is not a person that will also instill confidence in the sense of football-wise with players or with fans or media, because he does not know how to organize the entire situation. I've seen this story before. I know where this season is going. It's not going to change, unfortunately. I'd love to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he can replay this 5 weeks from now, 8 weeks from now. I hope when Tua gets back, he masks everything. But he can't, because that's not who he is either. Okay? He's like Drew Brees. He's like Bob Greasy. He's, like Joe Montana. He's going to need other people to do their job so he can be great. He's not going to just carry the ball for you 30 times a game and throw for 100 yards, 300 yards, and break all kinds of tackles and run people over. That's not who he is. It's just not going to do that. It's not who he is. So McDaniel needs to be great at everything, and unfortunately, he's mediocre at everything. I've seen this before. It's over. All right. Let's get to some music here. Music and entertainment, since we always love talking about that. Here we go. All right, let's go with musicians born on this date. Righty. Kevin Richardson, American singer from Backstreet Boys, born on this date in 1971. Mrs. Legs, Gwen Stefani, No Doubt. I love No Doubt. I can't stand her solo shit. I don't like that bubblegum pop music crap from hers. But No Doubt is badass. And I will always give Gwen Stefani, she's a good-looking woman, bottom line, but her legs. Whew. Born in 1969. All right. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays today. Tommy Lee, founding member, drummer of Motley Crue, born on this date in 1962. Gail Greenwood, bassist for Belly. Feed That Tree, baby. It's a great song. Belly, Feed the Tree. Go ahead, check it out. Nice bass in it. Stevie Ray Vaughan, legend. Awesome guitarist. One of the best to ever do it. Singer, songwriter, guitarist Stevie Ray Vaughan died at an early age of 35 back in 1990. We lost him way too early, and I never got to see him live, and I hate that. But Stevie Ray Vaughan is just absolutely amazing. Rest in peace, sir. You are a god. Born in 1954 on this date. Ronnie Laws, saxophonist for Earth, Wind, and Fire. Born in 1950. You want another great guitarist that nobody ever talks about? Lindsey Buckingham. Lindsey Buckingham is a phenomenal guitarist. I mean, a great guitarist. And obviously singer and everything else. Born in 1949. Let's see. John Perry Barlow, poet and lyricist for the Grateful Dead. Founding member of the Electronic Frontier Foundation. I don't know what that is, but I mentioned it anyways. P.R. Arnold, singer, member of Ike and Tina Turner Revue, born in 1946. Chubby Checker, wow, the great Chubby Checker, Ernest Evans, was born on this date in 1941. Come on, baby, let's do the twist. Let's see what else. And Eddie Cochran, musician, Summertime Blues, born in 1938. Those are musicians born on this date. Let's go with birthdays. Other famous folk celebrating birthdays. A$AP Rocky was not on that list, but he's probably not a musician. Rapper, he is 35. Zoltan Ibrahimovic or something like that. Futbolista, he is 42. Also celebrating birthdays today, Neve Campbell. She is 50. Hot Neve Campbell. CJ Stroud. He is 22 years old. Happy birthday to CJ. Kevin Richardson, pop singer, 52. I did mention, yes, Backstreet Boys. I did mention it. Let's see who else. Also celebrating a birthday today. Alicia Vikander, movie actress. She is 35. And that is Jessica Parker Kennedy, TV actress. She is 39. Those are famous folks celebrating birthdays today. Sean, do we have wrestlers?
TK O'Ryan turns 35. Mikey Batts, he's 41. Max Payne turns 63. Johnny TV, Johnny X, Johnny Morrison. John Morrison turns 45 today. And if anybody watches wrestling, they understand. You put the federation behind his name, and that's who he is. Danny Basham turns 47. And the patriarch of the Armstrong family, Bullet Bob Armstrong, was born on this date in 1939. Sadly, we lost him in 2020. Those are your birthdays for October 3rd, 2024.
Is John TV related to Mike TV from Willy Wonka?
Maybe, possibly.
Is John TV related to Dave TV? Like,
yes,
Van Halen.
He is.
David Lee Roth.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure that they're, the TVs are related. Dave TV. All right. Let's go to music history. What happened today in music history on October 3rd? Well, in 1980, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band kicked off their river tour in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Highlights of the show included the boss forgetting the words to Born to Run and Bob Seger joining the band on Thunder Road. Now, that's pretty cool. And remember, they did it in Michigan. That is Bob Seger's state right there, baby. In 96, Dave TV, David Lee Roth, was given the sack from Van Halen after rejoining the band in June. Roth later claimed that he was only welcomed back by the group as a publicity stunt for that year's MTV Video Music Awards. In 2011, a scientific study declared Queen's "We Are the Champions" as the catchiest song of all time. Interesting. In 92, Shinehead O'Connor made headlines when she tore up a photo of Pope John Paul II on Saturday Night Live saying, "Fight the real enemy." She was banned from the show for the incident. And rest in peace, Sinead O'Connor. And in 2000, Green Day released their 6th album, Warning. And that's what happened today in music history. How about that? And don't forget, folks, that Welton Realm is a proud sponsor of our program. Give them a ring, 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. You've been affected by any of that, anywhere in the state, you call our guys, Welton Realm. They will take care of you. And consultation is free. So if it happened a week ago, a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, you don't know. The statute of limitations may not be up. Consultation's free. Call them. Welton Realm, 954-966-4646. By the way, want to remind those of you that are Edison High graduates, especially the class of 74, you are having your 50th reunion, your 50th year reunion, and it'll be October 5th, this Saturday. So you can reconnect with folks and get it done and see the people you haven't seen in a while. And it'll be at the Miami Shores Country Club at 10,000 Biscayne Boulevard, 100th Street, 7 to 11 p.m. All right. Open bar, 5-course buffet dinner, DJ, photographer, tickets. You can go to Facebook page at Miami Edison Senior High Class of 74. Right? And they're enjoying it because they've got a quarterback in Seattle. An Edison grad is leading the Seattle Seahawks. So that's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. They've had a few people move on to the pros. So Edison's obviously has a great, rich history as a high school here in South Florida. So, I mean, Rich, you talk about class of 74, 50 years ago. So that's pretty cool, man. So if you haven't heard, spread the word and tell anybody that you know that could be part of the class of 74 in Edison to get on down there and enjoy their day. All right, good stuff. Good stuff as always. Yes. All right. I think yeah, that's it. I think I got it all. Oh, wait a minute. There was one more thing that I want to talk about Dolphins-wise. One more thing that I wanted to get off my chest, Dolphins-wise. Lazy media, lazy folks. Jordan Poyer's helmet hits Jalen Phillips' knee. No, it didn't. But go ahead and keep repeating it and don't bother to actually go to the low light and go check it out for yourself to see if it's actually a fact, right? So my media brethren and fans are a lot of times irresponsible and they go running with crazy stories that are unrealistic and none of them make any sense. And there was one that was out there now because the Kansas City Chiefs lost a wide receiver whose mom's a porch pirate for the year. And so, unfortunately, because Rashee Rice can only now drive the getaway car and by the way, he might crash the getaway car. You know, he's not. So I don't know if mom wants to hire Rashee Rice for this. Anyways, as I digress, they need a wide receiver. So idiots put one and one together and they say, oh, well, Tyreek, I mean, things aren't going well in Miami. Maybe they can trade him back. And so Tyreek was asked about that yesterday in camp. Let's have Tyreek address it before I do. Go ahead, Tyreek.
You know what, man? I'm just focused on right here and right now. Like, we got a beautiful team here, and I want to be a part of it. You know, we got a great situation here. My family loves it. I enjoy it. The weather's great. The fans are great. So we got a beautiful situation here, man. Obviously, you know, my parents always taught me, you know, control the controllables, and I only can control so much. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we all know the NFL is a business. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I'm saying? So moving forward, I would love to be here. I love being here. You know, I love the guys. I love my locker mate, Javon Holland. He's a maniac. He's the guy. You know what I'm saying? He brings me nice snacks sometimes. You know, so.
Okay. All right. Let's inject reality in all of this because I don't do this for clicks. I don't need you to read my article to talk about Tyreek, or I don't need you to go watch my show so I can, hey, they can trade Tyreek, and then you can try to stir it up. They can't trade Tyreek. Okay, there's over a $40 million cap hit. They chose not to pay him in the first place. They've won 2 titles without him. And after he left, his kid has lit his house on fire. He set off a divorce that really wasn't a real divorce, but he blames everybody else for something he did. Okay? He gets busted for going 60 miles an hour in front of a game, which nobody goes 60 miles an hour and then has a run-in with an idiot cop who should be in jail. Okay? But still, he's the idiot that started the whole thing. Then he has the incident at the comedy club that he avoids, but his entourage gets in a fight. Then he breaks an IG's leg. And by the way, where's that video? How come if nothing happened, how come I can't see that video? I wonder. And then what else happened? There was one more thing. Something else. And this week you had him obviously with the stupid thing with the loose ball and, huh? Oh, and attacking an old man at the harbor. And luckily, a group of people and his buddy stopped him 2 other times because the assault would have been really ugly then, because nobody would have stopped him and he would have really assaulted the guy. But nobody talks about that either. We just gloss over it like it's nothing. And you think Kansas City wants that back. Oh, and not only that, you idiots out there or media, so are they supposed to trade him for nothing because that's what they're going to get in return? Or what, are you expecting your first-round picks back? Because you're taking the salary off they're doing you a favor by taking Tyreek. Do any of you ever think about things before you say them? Because I know the media does it for clickbait. I know what the media does. I know because I'm part of the media. I'm not a clickbait guy. I'm just a reality guy. That'll get you the clicks that you want, the real clicks, not the bullshit clicks. Anybody ever just think about what you say before you actually say it? Because you got to be really stupid to even address it, talk about it, or even think it's a possibility. Why would Kansas City want that headache back? They just saw what he did in a moment that they needed him. He saw a dead ball and just walked away. He Cam Newton the bitch. I mean, it's just like the silliness that comes out of fans. But I get you guys, some of you, not all of you are like that, but I understand all of you out there that come up with stupid shit because you're fans. You're fanatical. You don't really think logical. But the media, it's just dirty shit, dude. It's just clickbait stuff. Because why lie to people? I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm not going to bullshit you into, oh, yeah, they should think about Tyreek moving to Kansas City. It's not possible. Why are we going to do that? Why am I going to get into stupid? Do I love hypotheticals? Oh, I love hypotheticals, don't I? I love hypotheticals. And I even love stupid hypotheticals. So let's get into Tyreek to Kansas City, which makes no sense. Let's just keep repeating that Poyer's helmet hit Jalen Phillips' knee. And by the way, let's not point out, when did the knee blow up? Nobody brings it up. Anyway, Waddle is not overrated. He's a heck of a receiver. You know what's overrated? When you people compare him to Duper and Clayton. That's when it's overrated. When you try to tell me Tyreek and Waddle are the best ever in the Dolphins, forget about the NFL. They're not even in that conversation. They're not even the best in Dolphin history. And that's when I know most of you have not seen Dolphin history. Most of you have not experienced Dolphin history. You're either too young to know any better or anything like that, because I watched Duper and Clayton from the second they came into the league to the second they left. And the two guys we're watching now are fantastic. They're not Duper and Clayton. Just want you to know that, okay? Just want you to know that. And I said that last year. There's nothing new. I said it last year. Don't ever even, because that stupid shit comes up again, because you need to write an article, you need to come up with something to talk about, and they've got big numbers. So let me just compare them to the other guys that have big numbers. No, dude. No. And if you're too young as a writer that you never saw Clayton and Duper play, maybe you shouldn't write about it. You know, I'm just saying. If you don't really have the perspective, you shouldn't talk about it. You shouldn't write about it. You know why? You don't have the perspective. I can't tell you about Jim Brown. I didn't watch him. I saw some highlights. Can't tell you about Jim Brown. I have to go with the guy that actually watched him, literally watched him, not saw a couple highlights like I've seen. No, watched him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference. This is what goes on in this clickbait society that we have. And we want to sensationalize everything and anything that we can, because we live under this whole thing that your producers and your editors and all this shit, they want clicks. They don't care how they get them. They don't care if they have to lie to you. You know, just like the guy that, the U.S. is the world's reserve currency. That's something you get from ABC and Fox and MSNBC. Not really somebody intelligent that's really following what's really going on in the world financially. And this is the same thing right here. Same thing. Jordan Poyer's helmet hit Jalen Phillips' knee. No, it didn't. But let's keep repeating it because it sounds great. And do you even know it happened then? No, you don't. But let's keep talking about it like it happened then. You know. Let's just, and then Tyreek, no, we're going to trade him right back to, of course, because that makes all the sense in the world. Clase como mierdería es lo que pasa aquí. Anyway, they eat a lot of shit is what they do in the media. That's what I was just saying right now in Spanish. Anyway, we're out of here. We thank, of course, the great Steve Calabro. We thank Mr. Brunetti, as always, an amazing, 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 amazing supporter of our platform, and we love that. I thank that guy right there, mastering this platform every single day. Love him. The great Sean Stanley. We thank all of you out there that tuned in. If you send in a super chat, if you hit the like button, please. If you haven't hit it, please hit it. Hit it. Don't quit it. Hit it. Hit it. If you send in a super chat, thank you. If you send in a Cash App or Venmo, you can send that in anytime. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. And you can send in a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. And you can always use the QR codes when we put them up there. All of that good stuff. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ocala Joe says, 1,000% true, Big O. Those who didn't experience the Duper Clayton years don't know shit. I mean, when you start telling me that Tyreek and Waddle are in their category, I laugh at you. I laugh at you. That's all. Put it this way. I'll give you a quick, just a quick one here, just the easy one. I'm not asking which player is better because that's obvious. But I got one moment. I take the snap. I drop back. I'm throwing into the corner of the end zone. Oronde Gadsden or Tyreek Hill? Oronde Gadsden or Tyreek Hill? I'm throwing into the end zone. Game's on the line. I don't even need to go to Clayton, bro. I know Tyreek's the better athlete, the better receiver. He'll go to Hall of Fame, all that. Give me a key moment. One moment in a game. I need to score a touchdown. I need to throw it. I need to make sure that ball ends up in that guy's hands. OG or Tyreek? If you saw both, there isn't even a discussion.
There's not a discussion. Okay? Not saying who's the better player. Not saying who's going to Hall of Fame. I'm just telling you in one moment. Money moment. Who do you want? Who did you see? Who could you not cover? OG. And he doesn't have half the talent of Tyreek Hill. But he has twice the hands that Tyreek Hill will ever have. Ever. Oronde Gadsden will catch better with one hand than Tyreek Hill does with two hands. So don't ever insult a classic Dolphins fan by telling him that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are at the level of Clayton and Duper, because they will laugh at you every single time. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.